are brought to you by Valero, the All-American gasoline all across America. For Chicago, they're 59-57 as play begins. 2.5 behind the Tigers in the Central. Jason Nix leads off at second base. Gordon Beckham, the third baseman, bats second. Hitting third is Jermaine Dye in right. Jim Thome with 562 career home runs will DH and bat fourth. Paul Konerko, the captain, at first base, batting fifth. Alex Rios had his first RBI with Chicago. He's the center fielder. He had that sacrifice fly last night. He's batting sixth. A.J. Przinsky is the catcher, batting seventh. Carlos Quentin in left field bats eighth. And Alexi Ramirez, last night's game winner in the 10th with a long ball, the shortstop, batting ninth. The 26-year-old right-hander Gavin Floyd, 9-7, a 4.06 ERA for Chicago. The A's are 51-64 after dropping to 3-8 in extra inning games with the loss last night. Leading off is Adam Kennedy at third, batting second Rajai Davis in center. The catcher Kurt Suzuki will bat third. Jerry Hairston in left, make that Scott Hairston in left, will bat fourth. Ryan Sweeney in right field on the 5 spot. Tommy Everidge at first base, bat sixth. Jack Cust will DH and bat seventh. Mark Ellis leading the league in RBIs in August with 16 at second base, hitting eighth. And Cliff Pennington, the shortstop, bats ninth. The 23-year-old Gio Gonzalez at 4-2, a 5.57 ERA goes today for the Athletics. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics for the private and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or retransmission of the descriptions and accounts of this game in any form without the express written consent of the Oakland Athletics is strictly prohibited. Gio Gonzalez has done a very good job in recent games of keeping his emotions in check. He's won 3 of his last 4 starts. He's got 12 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. He's had a routine which may be challenged today against the team that originally drafted him. Hopefully he'll keep good things going, and the A's can even the series at a victory apiece. We're ready for some Saturday baseball. Once again, here's Ken.
And Jason Nix leads it off for the White Sox against Gio. Nix, Beckham, and Dye. And the A's lefty throws, and Nix, a right-hander hitter, takes a strike in the outside corner. 70 degrees. It's a perfect baseball Saturday in Oakland.
Hey, fans.
It's great to talk some baseball with you. Here's the 0-1 pitch on the way. It's headed for a strike in the outside corner. Hello, Ray Foster.
I like Todd Tishner already.
Yeah.
Played umpire. That's 2 very good fastballs from Gio, 90 and 92. Strike 1, strike 2.
A's in the home whites, the White Sox, the black tops with the gray pants. Here's the delivery by Gonzalez on the way. Nix takes a breaking ball in the dirt, and it's 1-2. A's with the gloves today. The now familiar defensive look of Tommy Everidge at first, Mark Ellis at second, the shortstop Cliff Pennington. Adam Kennedy's over at third. Behind the plate, Kurt Suzuki. Scott Hairston's in left. In center, Rajai Davis. The right fielder, Ryan Sweeney. And the 1-2, breaking ball, way up outside corner, strike 3 call, perfect pitch, and that's the way our ball game begins.
Nice sequence of pitches, the 2 fastballs, and they tried to throw the curveball in the back foot. Got a swing and miss from Nix, did not. So went back over the same curveball and got the strikeout, and that is a big batter for Gio Gonzalez to get the first one out of the way.
And here's Beckham, the young third baseman, batting a 3.02 in his rookie year, a right-handed hitter. And Gio throws and gets a strike with a fastball in the outside corner 0-1. That's been the formula for Gonzalez, getting ahead with the fastball in a pitcher's count and dropping the breaking ball. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and that fastball is taken outside. It's 1-1.
So look how fast he's working, too. He gets the ball from Suzuki, and he's ready to go.
Boy, Beckham is having a great rookie year now. And the pitch to him is on the way. Swung on and driven to center field and deep. Davis going back at the track. He's at the wall and makes the catch midway on the track, just to the left of the 400-foot mark. And so Beckham gives it a ride. That's allowed, out number 2.
One of the rare balls is that he has actually somewhat pulled everything last night was to right field, and as a result, Sweeney played him as a left-handed pull hitter. But Beckham turned on that 92 fastball at least to center field.
You know, he was drafted last year by the White Sox out of Georgia. 357 for his last 30 games. So 2 out quickly, top of the first, no score. And Jermaine Dye against Gonzalez takes a strike on the inside corner. A fastball 0-1. Jermaine just rolling along, another quality year, hitting .270, 24 home runs. And the pitch to Dye is a fastball low and outside. It's 1-1. Bright sunshine and not a cloud in the sky. Gio ready, delivers the 1-1 pitch to Dye. Swung on, smoked in the left, a base hit, a solid single by Dye. So he becomes the game's first base runner, and Jim Thome's coming up.
Is he the best right-handed low ball hitter you've seen in a while?
How about last night when he took Anderson's curveball off his ankles? He hit a couple of them like that. So I agree. He's got it going.
2 for 4 with 3 RBIs last night. Now the A's with a full shift on for Jim Thome. Gentleman Jim sitting on 562 lifetime home runs. And the pitch, and Thome takes it low, and the count 1-0.
And once again, it's Kennedy going to the 45-yard line. And so for an infield coach, just say play 5 yards to your right, and they'll know exactly where to go.
Here's the pitch on the way, and Thome swings and pops it up in his short left field. Coming on from left is Hairston. Scott's right there, and he makes the catch. So Gonzalez, no problem in the top of the first with the Athletics coming up in the bottom half.
Next time you need gas, here's something to think about. When you buy at Valero, you're not just fueling your car, you're
Coaching at first base, 20 Athletics, number 38, Todd Stevenson, and the third base, number 4, Mark Gallego. Leading off for Angels, third baseman, number 29, Adam Kennedy.
Well, there is a score, actually. It's 0-0. Right, Ray?
That's true. Lights are taking effect.
Yeah. So Kennedy batting at .280 with 10 home runs and 46 runs batted in. And here's the pitch by Floyd taken inside. Are you saying that my broadcasts have now reached kind of the predictable stage?
No. I'm just saying the lights, the sun, it's taking effect.
The sun has taken effect today. Here's the 1-0 pitch by Floyd. Swung on, bounce, fouled on the first baseline. Paul Konerko's at first. Jason Nix at second. The shortstop, Alexi Ramirez. Gordon Beckham over at third. The outfielder, Carlos Quentin in left. In center field, Alex Rios. The right fielder, Jermaine Dye. And Ray Fosse's favorite major leaguer, A.J. Przinsky, is behind the plate. Here's the 1-1 delivery to Kennedy. Swung on a soft drive into left. It's going to fall for a base hit. Adam Kennedy leads off. Goes the other way with a base hit in front of Carlos Quentin. And Rajai Davis is coming up. Pretty good 1-2 combination for the A's right now. Kennedy and Davis, who remains red hot in the midst of a career-high hitting streak. 9 consecutive games for Rajai. And during that time, he's batting .342.
You'd almost think it'd be the reverse of Rajai leading off and Kennedy hitting behind him, but this is working perfectly.
So Galvin Floyd, first base side of the rubber, the big right-hander. Here's the pause by Floyd. Kennedy leads the pitch to Davis, around to bunt, and drops it foul off his foot. And the count 0-1. For the year, Ray, Floyd is 9-7 with a 4.06 ERA. But how do you evaluate, just looking at the raw numbers, home versus road for a guy like Floyd? At home this year, his ERA is 2.78. On the road, it's 5.76.
I guess when they're out, they're out. But it's it is a little surprising because it's a great pitcher's park in Chicago. There's a win. You never know what's going to happen there, but a little surprising that he's not pitching as well on the road.
The set ready now. First base side of the rubber. Kennedy leads. Here's the pitch out of the slide step. It's popped up to the right, foul. Out of play in the count 0-2. His last start was against the Mariners up at Safeco on Monday night. 5 2/3, 7 hits and 5 runs. Lost the game. He allowed a home run to Russell Branyan. Number 1 pick of the Phillies in 01. 6'5" and 230. He's 26 years of age. No score, nobody out, bottom of the first. And Floyd throws and misses high and outside with a fastball. The count 1-2.
Pretty good combination, I think, this afternoon for the Athletics to continue their running game. Brzezinski's only thrown out 17%, and Floyd's allowed 14 steals this year.
Here's the 1-2 delivery by Floyd. The pause, slide step, pitch to Rajay, dribble foul to the right. As we said on the open, the 2 starting pitchers today were involved in the same trade. Now, initially, Gio Gonzalez, who came up in the White Sox organization, Gio was dealt to the Phillies for Jim Thome. But then Gonzalez and Gavin Floyd both came from the Phillies in the same trade, reacquired by Chicago. Floyd and Gonzalez coming to the White Sox for Freddie Garcia, who went to the Phillies in December of 06. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Rajay, a check swing on a pitch in the dirt. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, the A's, of course, with Gio and Sweeney, both in the lineup today against their former team. Thome, Floyd, Gio with the Philadelphia connection, so a lot of things going on. But watching the slide step of Floyd, it's amazing that they have the stolen bases against him.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, and he throws, and Rajay cues it foul to the right, and the count holds at 2-2. Gio was a sandwich pick of the White Sox out of high school down in Florida. Compensation pick, 38th overall in 2004. And again, Gavin Floyd, number 1 pick of the Phillies, and that was back in 01. Here's the pitch by Floyd. The high set, ready now. Brzezinski sets up outside, and Rajay bloops it down the right side. That's foul, and that's out of play. So pretty good battle here between Gavin Floyd and Rajay Davis. The White Sox maintaining their position in the American League Central, with the Sox beating the A's last night, and the Tigers shutting out Kansas City 1-0. So it's the Tigers at 61 and 54, the White Sox at 59 and 57. They're 2.5 out. Minnesota's back by 5 at 56 and 59. Outfield is straight away. Davis, a right-handed hitter. Floyd from the stretch. And once again, the 2-2 is a bouncy ball back at the mound, taken over the mound at second. On the bag at second is Nix for 1, over to first for 2, and a 4-3 double play. The ball took the second baseman Jason Nix right to the bag, and the White Sox get a 4-3 double play and quickly 2 away.
Well, if nothing else, Gio Gonzalez, in seeing 8 pitches, he's got a chance to see the slide step from Floyd and assortment of pitches that he was throwing.
And that'll bring up Kurt Suzuki, who's batting at .279 with 9 home runs and 53 RBIs. The Athletics are 51 and 64. The Sox at 59 and 57. The pitch by Floyd is on the way, and Suzuki takes a strike, and it's 0-1. The Angels lead the Rangers in the West by 4.5, and Seattle back by 9.5.
Rangers had to be thinking about going to 3.5 if they had hung on and won last night.
And leading the wild card if they had won. Outside for a ball, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike to Suzuki. They had the lead in the top of the 9th inning with Frank Francisco on the mound against the Red Sox.
Victor Martinez has paid dividends already for the Red Sox.
Boy, no kidding. Now the 1-1 to Suzuki is a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Pitch to Victor Martinez with first base open. Runners at second and third. But he was only 1 strike away from nailing it down.
2 outs, top of the 9th, had the lead. Floyd with a 1-2 with 2 out to Suzuki. A check swing and a pitch in the dirt, and he goes around. So Suzuki strikes out. The inning is over, and after 1, it's the A's nothing and the White Sox nothing. Top of the second, there is no score here at the Coliseum. The White Sox come up against Gio Gonzalez with Konerko, Rios, and Pierzynski. We'd love to see you here tomorrow for the 105 game, a turn back the clock day. The A's and the White Sox turning back the clocks to 1929. And again, the game starts at 105, featuring the A's right-hander Trevor Cahill against the Sox lefty John Danks. So Konerko leading it off in the second. And Konerko batting at .277, 21 home runs, 70 runs batted in. A's nothing and the White Sox nothing. And here's the pitch by Gio Gonzalez. Fastball taken outside. Gio would like to make amends as you look at his only start against his former ball club. It came last year. And he got lit up by the White Sox back in August of last year, 13-1. Here's the pitch, swung on a one-hopper, backhanded short left field. Pennington throws him out. Another excellent play by the A's shortstop, Cliff Pennington, and he made it look easy, and that's out number one.
Well, he'll always make it look easy if he can get to the ball, which his range is good, but he has a strong arm to really make up for any depth that he has to go, in this case to the outfield. Very strong arm, and he's been very accurate with his throws this year.
It seems, looking at Pennington this year as compared to late last year, that he's taken a major step forward.
Yeah, he has.
So here's Alex Rios, the former Blue Jay, in his third game with the White Sox, taking outside, and it's 1-0. Rios at .262, 14 home runs, 63 RBIs. Top of the second, no score. Here's the pitch by Gio, and that's taken inside, and the count 2-0. Was it any different for you, Ray, when you faced the Indians for the first time?
Oh, yeah. You're always wanting to try to make them wonder why they traded you. You know, so, yeah, there's that part of it.
Try to prove something. Rios takes outside 3-0 to Alex Rios.
I think in Gio's, from his standpoint, getting an opportunity with the Athletics, I think this is a special time for him to take advantage of it.
3 1/3 last year in that start against the White Sox. Strike at the knees, and the count 3-1 to Rios. Is batting at .262. Third base side of the rubber. The pitch by Gonzalez. Here it is. Rios hits a high, deep fly ball to left center field. Rajai Davis back. He's at the track, leaping at the wall, and he makes the catch. Great play in deep left center field by Rajai Davis. Man, has he sparkled with the bat and the glove, and that is out number 2. And Rios almost got it out.
Now, Rajai got a much-deserved day off on Thursdays. He said he did nothing to get rejuvenated to come back and feeling for the wall once he got the warning track, and he is doing it all, covering a lot of ground.
Is right between the 388 and the 362 marks, and leaping up almost as high as he could to the backhand side and took it right off the wall. And now the pitch to AJ is swung on and missed, and the count 0-1. The kid out there can play.
Yes, he can, and is enjoying the opportunity to play.
Well, I think it's been infectious.
Yeah.
Don't you, Ray? Here's the 0-1 pitch to AJ, bounced down to short. Taken there by Pennington, gobbles it up, guns it to first in time. Thanks to his defense, Gio has a 1-2-3, top of the second, end after 1.5, still no score.
Toss. Hairston.
Bottom of the second, there's no score. The A's come up against Gavin Floyd with Hairston, Sweeney, and Everidge. Again, we'd love to see you here tomorrow for the Turn Back the Clock Day. Plaza outfield seats normally $18, just $9.29 tomorrow. And the lower box seats normally $30, just $19.29. You can log on to oaklandathletics.com/1929 and enter the coupon code 1929 to take advantage of the ticket offer. Here's the pitch to Hairston on the way by Gavin Floyd. A fastball up and in, 1-0.
Let's see.
Pretty good deal, right?
It's a great deal. I'm just thinking you don't have to do a manager show tomorrow. They didn't have manager shows on radio back then, did they?
No, they hadn't invented those yet. So we could skip it, huh? Here's the 1-0 pitch to Hairston, swung on and fouled back, and the count 1-1.
But I think you'll be doing the manager show with Bob Gary in a suit and a top hat, but he's not wearing it during the game.
No, he's going to have it on before the game is what he said.
Wear it during the game. Connie Mack did it, didn't he?
Well, somebody said that the current baseball rules would disallow that. Is that true?
I think so. Ted Turner tried it.
Here's the 1-1 pitch, taken low and out, 2-1. He actually could stay in the dugout, maybe and manage with a suit, but he couldn't come out on the field of play without a baseball uniform on.
In other words, to argue.
Correct. A 2-1 delivery by Floyd, and Hairston swings and misses on a breaking ball down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You don't think Lou Wolf could pick up the phone and say, hey, bud, we're doing a turn back the clock. Our manager's wearing a suit today. If he has to argue, can he argue? Are you okay with that? I think they'd probably pass that.
I think so, too.
So the count 2-2 to Hairston. And the delivery is on the way, and Scott hits a drive into center field. Going back on it is Rios, nearing the track. He's midway on the track, and he makes the catch. It's a day game at the Coliseum, and the ball's going to fly. Well hit ball to dead center field by Hairston. That's out number 1. Sweeney's coming up.
Got to sell the uniforms that the players are going to be using. Both sides, they look very, very good, and should be a very interesting day to see the players decked out with no names on the back, so you need the scorecard to know who your favorite player is.
The pitch to Sweeney is on the way by Floyd with no score, taken for a strike, 0-1. Dick Callahan's getting set to do the PA from down below tomorrow. 0-1 to Ryan, up and in, 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's going to do it down in the all-you-can-eat section diamond level, which they didn't have in 29 either, probably. So he could have some nachos and do the PA announcement.
Here's the 1-1 delivery to Sweeney. Ryan, it's a soft drive into short left center field. It's going to fall for a base hit. The A's have their second hit. Sweeney dunks one to left center. But tomorrow, you mentioned the food, Ray. Peanuts will be 50 cents out here tomorrow.
And that's probably too high. 29 are probably a nickel. Come on, let's go.
Well, now Vince wants Lou Wolf to call Bud Selig. Okay, you could call the concession people and get that changed.
I think we'll just leave it as is.
All right.
Bob can wear the suit for batting practice, and let's hope they have it.
So here's Tommy Everidge. He's batting .266. Runner at first, bottom of the second. And Tommy hits it off the end of the bat in a short left field. A long run for Quinton. He's going to get there, and he makes the catch. And Everidge flies out, and Custa's coming up.
Tommy Everidge does not have to wait for the 9th inning to hit the ball to right field. It seems like he saves that special opposite field hit, and the A's needed in the 9th inning. But that one, as he did last night a couple of times, way out in front of him pitches.
Base hit to right in the 10th inning last night. Yeah, he's Mr. Opposite Field in his last at bat.
Yeah.
We're in the bottom of the second. There's no score. 2 out. Custa's up, and he's batting at .230. A's and the Yankees, a 3-game series beginning on Monday night. The full shift on the infield for Jack. Just Beckham on the left side, and Cuss takes a fastball for a strike. We're talking about Freddie Garcia and the deal involving both Floyd and Gio Gonzalez. Freddie Garcia is going to start for the White Sox on Tuesday night. He's been pitching in the minor leagues. The 0-1 to Cuss. Jack takes a breaking ball low, and it's 1-1. So Freddie, who won 17 games for the White Sox back in 06, will pitch against the Royals on Tuesday night in Chicago. Now the 1-1 with 2 out. Cuss takes a breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner, 1-2. He is against the Yankees on Monday. Vin Mazzaro against A.J. Burnett. Justin Duxer in pencil for the A's on Tuesday against CC. And then Wednesday night, Brett Anderson against Chad Godin. Now the 1-2 delivery to Cuss, the fastball high, and it's 2-2.
Who? We just saw Chad in San Diego.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, it's good to see him end up with the Yankees, or is that for Mitre?
In the rotation in Sergio Mitre's spot,
yeah.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no score, bottom of the second. Floyd sets, he throws, and Cuss takes high and tight. Now the count 3-2.
What's his name again? Godin.
What did Ken Maka call him?
Godin. No, it's Godin.
Konerko playing behind the runner. Sweeney will be going, and the 3-2 with 2 out to Cuss. The pitch is swung out of miss. So Cuss pays. The A's go down in the second, and after 2, no score. After 2 innings for the White Sox, no runs, 1 hit. The A's no runs on 2 hits. 3rd inning, here's Vince.
Gio Gonzalez back to work facing Carlos Quentin, Alexi Ramirez, and then Jason Nix. And as has been the case during this good stretch of baseball for Gonzalez, now 14 2/3 of consecutive scoreless pitching. Before he takes the baseball to start every half inning, he stands on the back slope of the mound, gathers his thoughts with his back to home plate, now back on top of the hill on the third base side to face Quentin. 11 homers, 29 RBIs, a .227 average for the former Stanford Cardinal, and he takes inside and low, ball 1. Carlos in an 0 for 11 slide. Hard to imagine Quentin after last year's season batting in the 8th spot for the White Sox. He swings and pops one up. First base side, foul ground. Everidge is over through the coach's box in front of the White Sox dugout, makes the play. And now 0 for 12 is the streak for Quentin. 1 out in the 3rd, and here comes Ramirez.
Well, it's amazing what just one simple injury, in the case of last year, maybe kind of started, maybe continued this year, but just banging his hand on his bat and cost him, and it's tough to come back sometime. And you just have to think what would have happened to him and how it would have affected him.
Now Ramirez hit the game winner last night in the 10th inning off of Craig Breslow. Right-hand batter takes outside, ball 1. Plus having the problem with his base this year with the plantar fasciitis, in his feet, just giving him all sorts of discomfort. How important it is to have that balance at the plate. 1-0 delivery down low. 2 balls and no strikes on Ramirez, batting .274, 14 homers, 53 driven in.
Speaking of batting at the bottom of the order, how about this guy batting 9th?
I know. Here's the 2-0. Fastball rides over the outside edge, a called strike. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Got an 0-2 breaking ball that caught too much of the plate from Breslow in the 10th inning last night. When he connected, hit it up on the steps over the wall and left. Fastball from Gio is outside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. The daily Dibs delivery for Ray Fosse has arrived. I sure hope you've got stock in that company. You should be wearing Dibs T-shirts or golf shirts to the ballpark. 3-1 is outside, ball 4. So Ramirez aboard, the second base runner against Gio today. We're in a scoreless game.
Number 5, Jason Nix.
Pretty hard. I mean, he's playing for the tie.
Nix took strike 3 at a breaking ball to start the game. He's 0 for 5 in the series.
Well, the best had to be in Baltimore when Andrew Bailey's father, Bill, sent some up. They were out walking around and said, hey, I think the boys need some dibs in this hot weather. So Bill was kind enough to send some.
Stretching the pitch, a changeup. It's over but low, ball 1. A rare changeup from Gio, because recently in his last handful of starts where he's had success against the Yankees and the Red Sox, and then most recently against Texas and Baltimore, he's been almost a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball and a curve. You know, he's adjusted the curveball. 1 in the strike zone, 1 out of the strike zone to chase. 1-0 fastball's outside. He'll be paid a visit now by Kurt Suzuki. He's missed on 6 of his last 7 pitches.
Well, the one thing that Gio has been doing is catchers have been setting up in the middle of the plate because of too much movement on those pitches. And to Ramirez, and this last one to Nix, too far outside, just kept running on him. It's dangerous for a catcher to set up in the middle too much, because if he throws a 4-seamer, it's straight, then it's going to be very hittable.
With Posednik not starting today, it's Nix in the leadoff spot for just the 6th time this year. 2-0 offer over the outside corner, a called strike, and it's 2-1. Is it that simple, Ray, to literally set the target over the middle of the plate and then just allow the movement to take over?
Well, that time Suzuki did set up and the pitch was outside. All he has to do is just move over to catch the ball with his glove. Doesn't have to move a lot of body to do it.
A look at first, 2-1 offer to the outside corner, a called strike. So Gio's come back to even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm trying to think about it from the pitcher's point of view, where you're trying to get them. Look, you got to work the outer thirds of the plate, inner third or outer third. And if he's looking down the middle, just to have that belief, that trust in that the ball's going to do what he wants it to do. 2-2, curveball, hit down the left field line toward the pole, and this one is off the foul pole. Jason Nix has connected on a 2-run shot. He scores Alexi Ramirez with his 9th home run, and it is 2-0 Chicago. And there goes the scoreless string for Gio Gonzalez as it reached 15 innings, but ended abruptly courtesy of Jason Nix.
Well, the curveball, after some pretty good fastballs, but the curveball similar to the one that Craig Breslow threw last night, kind of stayed in the middle of the plate. As Craig said, he tried to bounce it 0-2 to Ramirez on the 10th, did not work, and I think Gio would like to have this one back, or hook a little bit more in front of the foul pole.
Now Gordon Beckham stands in, takes ball 1 outside. Beckham, a fly ball to deep center, tracked down near the wall by Rajai Davis. Back in the first inning. The wind, the pitch. Check swing on a change down and away. No ask for the appeal, so ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. And in that stretch of games for Gio that we've talked about, where he's gone 3-0 in his last 4 starts, he had not allowed a home run. But he's touched up for 1 in this game. Fastball off the outside corner for ball 3. Now 3-0 on Beckham. 61st consecutive start for the Rookie of the Year candidate for Chicago. A college shortstop playing Major League third base. 3-0 delivery down low, ball 4. So Beckham, after the home run, draws a walk as Gio misses on 4 consecutive pitches. He's definitely stumbling a little bit here in the third to see if he can get that put past him. And now Kurt Young goes out to the mound, and we've always talked about this when we discussed Gio Gonzalez, and that is keeping the emotions in check, trying to quickly erase the memories of a bad pitch and move on. And right now that seems to be a challenge, and then the additional layer of doing it against his original team.
Yeah, I thought in his last start he had the extra day, and that worked well for him as he did pitch and against the Orioles and pitching on the 6th day. And this one, of course, another challenge facing his former club.
So Nix giving them the lead, his 9th home run of the year. And then Beckham walked. And now Jermaine Dye comes to the plate, and you cannot afford to lose your focus with Dye up there. Single to left his first time up. Even though he's batting just 170 since the All-Star break, you can't convince the A's of that. He's gone 3 for 5 in this series. Drove in 3 runs yesterday. A sweeping curve down and in. Tremendous block by Suzuki, shifting hard to his left. And that's ball 1. He's pitched behind every batter in the inning. Where Gio, the first 2 innings, only 1 man reached. A 2-out single by Dye to left. Outfield deep, they play Jermaine to pull. The 1-0. Curveball stays outside. 2 balls and no strikes.
See, there's the backdoor curveball that he doesn't throw it with the same emphasis and conviction that he does down and in. And you try to guide the curveball to the outside part of the plate to right-handers. It's a little bit more difficult of a pitch.
2-0 fastball taken all the way by Dye. It's right through the heart for a called strike. And now 2-1. 2-0 Chicago in the 3rd. A's were down 6-0 yesterday before they rallied back to tie and eventually take the lead. 2-1 fastball taken for a strike by Dye. He thought it might have been down as he steps out of the box, shoots a look at the plate umpire Todd Tichenor. Now 2-2 the count. Infield looking to turn 2. The 2-2. Breaking ball chopped off the plate and dribbles outside of third base. The A's will wrap up the series with the White Sox tomorrow with Trevor Cahill against John Danks. And then the Yankees come calling on Monday. A lot of family and friends are here for Jermaine Dye for this series, as always. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked again by Suzuki. Shifting hard through the right-handed batter's box, and it's a full count of 3-2. Well, he knows when if he's going to call for that pitch and trying to get the reaction of a swing and a miss on a bearing breaking ball, he's got to be ready to react.
And of course, he knows exactly how it is going to be thrown and act, and he can anticipate the movement.
3-2 pitch. Runner goes. It's popped up behind first base in foul ground. Everidge giving chase. May have a chance toward the bullpen, but he can't get to it. Lands past the mound. Ryan Sweeney came in as well, and a kangarooed back up into the seats. So Dye will get another chance at 3-2, and Beckham, who broke on the pitch, retraces his steps back to first. A high sky today at the Coliseum, not a cloud up there. It's going to be a challenge on the high pop-ups and the fly balls to the outfield. 2-0 Chicago. 3-2 pitch, runner holds this time. It's fought off and hit out of play off to the right side. So Gio, really for the first time in a stretch of games here, has found himself in a challenge where he's got to make the adjustment on the fly. A long hold, 3-2 pitch, runner goes, it's outside, and that's ball 4. So 3 walks in the inning and a 2-run homer. First batter retired Quentin on a pop-up and foul ground to the first baseman, but since then it has steadily gone downhill for Gonzalez. He's trying to regroup, and he'll need to regroup as he contends now with Jim Thome, 13th on the all-time home run list at 562. He is 1 behind Reginald Martinez Jackson. A look back at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball right in there for a called strike. Not quite a full overshift on for Thome, but the shortstop Pennington is shading aggressively up the middle, right near Beckham, the base runner. Kennedy deep at third, well off the line, and the same on the right side of the infield. Outfield the other way for Thome, lefty versus lefty. He takes a curve and it's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Thome batting just .241 against lefties. With 5 of his home runs, he's clocked 21 this year. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, tied him up down and in with a fastball. That's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We saw Brett Anderson last night struggle in the first 2, settled down and did well the next 3. And for Gio right now, this is damage control for him. He's given up 2, a couple of guys on via the walk, and he's got to get some tough guys.
Thomey's hit into 7 double plays this year. 1-2 pitch, curveball, swing, and a miss. Thomey down on strikes on a Gonzalez breaking ball. And that is out number 2 on strikeout number 2 on the day for Gio Gonzalez. What do you think turned around Brett Anderson last night, Ray?
I don't know. I think he just didn't know what was going on the first 2 innings, and the breaking ball wasn't breaking. I mean, it was just a flat curveball and slider, and then he just picked it up. He just turned it around. Maybe it just took him that long to get loose. But I thought it was remarkable the way he did settle down and pitch 3 strong innings after that.
Now Konerko bats, 2 on, 2 out. Gio an inside move and a look back to second, no throw, keeping Beckham close to the base. It just seemed like the White Sox are on him early. I mean, early in the count, knowing that Brett liked to be aggressive, particularly with the fastball. First pitch on the way to Konerko to the outside corner. Paulie, a ground ball to short his first time up. He's 0 for 1.
It's almost similar to Gio facing the Twins when he did not have a curveball and they sat fastball. Same last night for Brett early. If it wasn't working, they were going to just look for and get the majority of fastballs. It didn't matter where they were thrown. Down low, middle of the plate, it didn't matter.
A look back at second. The 1-strike pitch. Swung on, broken bat roller behind the mound. Near second base, picked up by Ellis. Shovels quickly to Pennington. They get the force on Die, and the inning is over. So after the home run and a couple of walks, Gio finds a way to nail it down and prevent further damage for Chicago. They get 2 onto the bottom of the third, and it's 2-0 White Sox. Bottom of the third inning, it is 2-0 Chicago. Mark Ellis will lead it off for the A's, followed by Cliff Pennington, then back to the top for the second time with Adam Kennedy against Gavin Floyd. Mark batting .273, 5 homers, 39 driven in, takes a fastball strike, and it's 0-1. Not Mark Teixeira, not Joe Mauer, not Justin Morneau, not Jason Bay or David Ortiz, but Mark Ellis leads the league in RBIs in August with 16. He fouls back the 1-strike pitch, and it's 0-2. How about that?
And this is just the 15th of the month. So that is very good.
Quite a bounce back for Mark since coming off the disabled list, having to go through basically a second spring training and then get comfortable again at the plate. 0-2 offer. Curveball over the inside corner. Mark knew it. He's gone looking as Floyd came through the front door for his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. A 2-0 Chicago lead, and Floyd and the White Sox are looking for a shutdown inning. And now Pennington will bat after Mark was had to start the frame. Cliff batting .320, a home run, 6 driven in. He drove in a run last night. The A's lost it in 10, 8-7. Takes a fastball from Floyd for strike 1. Floyd off to a slow start this year. He was 2-4 with a .771 ERA. And then he turned it around. He's gone 7-3 since then with an ERA at about 2.5. Cliff turns on a pitch, hooked it foul past Konerko toward the White Sox bullpen, and it's 0-2. Pennington now 50 at-bats, his 15th game in the big leagues. This time around. Outfield straight up, infield back, and here comes the 2-strike offer. Rolled on the left side to the shortstop. Ramirez shading up the middle, has it, throws a bit low, but Konerko pulls it in. And that's the second out. Defense has been an issue for Chicago this year. 14th. They are dead last in the league in defense, and Ramirez charged with his 15th error last night. And they've got Gordon Beckham. He's allowed 11. He's committed 11 errors at third base. Doesn't make Isaac Guillen very happy.
And the error that Ramirez got, he got it to the second baseman side. There's no reason he should have been ranging that far.
Now the second time through as Kennedy stands in, shortens the bunt, and takes low for ball one. Adam, a soft base hit the other way back in the first inning, his first in the series. A's trailing 2-0 on a Jason Nix home run in the top of the inning. Fastball lined the other way. That's a solid base hit for Kennedy. Twice he's gone past Ramirez, this time with authority, so he's 2 for 2. And here comes Rajai Davis. One final today. The Cubs have won. They beat the Pirates 3-1 this afternoon. Cleveland leading Minnesota 1-0 in the second. How about Joe Mauer leading the league at 379? What an incredible year for the All-Star catcher. Philadelphia and Atlanta scoreless in the third. The same for the Giants and the Mets. Here it's 2-0 Chicago. The pitch to Raj. He bloops it into shallow right. Going out for it is Nix. Reaches for it. Can't get it. Around second base as Kennedy is all the way to third. Dye throws behind the runner. Rajai Davis, who motors all the way to second base. The A's aggressive on the base pass. Suddenly they've got runners at second and third with 2 outs for Kurt Suzuki.
And that time, Rajai Davis wanted the throw to come behind him. He did round the bag, but once J.D. came up and threw to first, there's no doubt that he was going to make it safer. So a double for Rajai Davis and a single.
A hustling double. Just beyond the outstretched reach of Jason Nix in shallow right field. So we'll see now if Kurt Suzuki could tie the game or something more. With 2 outs against Gavin Floyd. He's 0 for 6 in the series. The wind, the offer, slider off the outside corner, ball one.
Any normal player would have been out the way he rounded first. Yeah. Because when Dye threw behind him, if Rajai had tried to get back to first, he would have been out easily.
But he didn't break stride going to second.
Yeah.
Now a 10-game hitting streak for Davis. Here comes the 1-0. Breaking ball again, that cutter just wide for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Kurt has been so solid for the A's, so consistent all year long. Right-hand batter awaits the pitch from the right-hand deliverer. And the fastball in there for a strike. And it's now 2 balls and a strike. Suzuki had a stretch there from late July all the way through part of the road trip. We had 4 home runs in a dozen games as he drove it up to 9 on the season. The windup, Floyd's 2-1 delivery. Keeping it away from Suzuki, missed outside with ball 3. 3 balls and a strike, and Scott Hairston waits on deck. 2-0 Chicago in the bottom of the third. The A's trying to make some noise with Davis at second and Kennedy at third. Floyd a glance at third base, out of the windup, offers, and it's outside, ball 4. Very careful with Suzuki. Wanted to keep everything away from Kurt. That's the first walk allowed by Floyd, and now here comes Scott Hairston.
Suzuki just shooting to right field. He's so good at taking pitches away and not trying to pull them.
Hairston with a no place to put him. Floyd's delivery swung on, chopped to third and foul. And Scott before the game today was talking about the confidence in that situation last night when he hit the home run, first ball swinging against Contreras, hanging slider or forkball, whatever the case might be. But he said when you're playing every day, you've got better timing, and you feel like when you're looking fastball and you get that pitch that hung, that you're able to stay back on it and not roll over on it. 0-1, swing and a miss. He challenged him upstairs, and Scott went after it and missed it. And now it's 0-2.
Scott does a great job of just waiting and being very patient, as he did in Baltimore, similar to last night. Just reacted on the hanging breaking ball.
He's got Suzuki at first. He walked. Davis at second, doubled. Kennedy at third, he singled. And the breaking ball in the dirt, blocked in front by Pierzynski. And now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hairston said even earlier this season with San Diego, he was not an everyday player. He was platooning with Jody Garrett in left. And now coming over to the Athletics, his first real opportunity to be an everyday player. And the confidence that comes with it. Trying to get the A's on the board, down 2-0. The 1-2. Breaking ball launched left center field, high in the air. There's some room out there for Rios, and he's going to have a play on the warning track. Just didn't quite get enough of it. And the inning is over. No runs, a couple of hits. The A's lead 3. And we go to the 4th. It's 2-0 White Sox. Radio Network. On a Saturday afternoon at the Coliseum with Ken Korak and Ray Fosse, Vince Cotroneo with you as we start the top of the 4th. Gio Gonzalez back to work against Alex Rios. Newly acquired outfielder takes down and away for ball 1. Rios, a drive to deep left center field, a leaping catch at the wall by Rajai Davis, took extra bases away. He takes outside on a changeup from Gonzalez. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Rios 1 for 5 in the series. It appears he is the center fielder of today and the future now for the Pale Hose. The 2-0 swung on, skied in the shallow center. Backpedaling is Pennington. Coming in for it is Rajai Davis. Rajai staying with it. Makes a one-handed catch. And there's one away. After they began the year with Brian Anderson, he struggled again, eventually traded. And in the minor leagues with Boston, Dwayne Wise has played a lot. And Dwayne Wise certainly has a favorite in their dugout. And Mark Burley, after the great catch, robbing Gabe Kapler of a home run, preserving the perfect game. But in all, they've decided Rios is the way to go. Now Pierzynski, a bouncing ball to short. Back in the 2nd. The pitch on the inside corner, a strike. AJ didn't like that call. Came off the bench in last night's game. Here comes the 0-1. Curveball, he chased one, not even close. and it's 0-2. Trevor Cahill at 1:05 tomorrow wraps up this series against John Danks. Then the Yankees come in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. Ben Mazzaro against A.J. Burnett. Unknown on Tuesday against C.C. Sabathia. 0-2 pitch grounded up the middle, off the mound, and into center. A base hit by the backhanded reach of Gio Gonzalez. So Pierzynski has the third hit today for Chicago. 1 out, 1 on for Carlos Quentin. And then Brett Anderson Wednesday night against Chad Gaudin.
Made a mistake with the breaking ball after getting Pierzynski to swing the pitch out of the strike zone. Came back with the same, or wanted to be the same, but too much to play. And I think that's one of the reasons Gio earlier in his season had his struggles with lefties. Left the ball up a little bit too much instead of throwing it a little bit harder.
A look at first, the pitch. Swung on, blooped in a shallow right. Racing out as Ellis coming on. Sweeney's going to drop for a hit. Ryan plays it on one bounce. He's going to throw to third base, trying to get Pierzynski. It kicks away from Kennedy. And backing up on the play is Gonzalez. But on the play, moving to second, is Quentin. So an error charge to Ryan Sweeney on the throw to third base. Try to beat Pierzynski there, and that allowed Quentin to get to second base. A good read by Pierzynski. Doesn't run that well, but Sweeney, the former White Sox player, thought he had a chance. The throw was right into the runner. It was right on the bag, but the ball and the runner came to the base at exactly the same time, and that's what prevented Kennedy from holding on to the baseball. Looked like a near perfect throw. But in trouble again is Gonzalez. Runners at second and third with 1 out, infield halfway for Alexi Ramirez. The pitch. Backdoor breaking ball, and it's over for strike 1. So Quentin snapped an 0 for 12 with that soft base hit the other way. He's at second. Pierzynski's at third. Because Pierzynski doesn't run that well, the A's don't have to close the infield all the way in, and still potentially could make a play at the plate. 0-1. Breaking ball line to left. It's not going to matter. That's a base hit. Pierzynski is home. Up 90 feet is Quentin to third base. An RBI single from Alexi Ramirez increases the lead for Chicago to 3-0. Pretty dangerous bat when it's hot at the bottom of the lineup for Chicago. That's his 54th run batted in. Putting that in perspective, that would lead the Athletics in RBIs right now. The Cuban missile, the lean Ramirez, with a hard base hit to left field. 3 consecutive hits and an error with Gonzalez pitching, 1 out, and here comes Nix. He opened the scoring with a home run. His last time up, he drives one to center, chasing Rajay Davis back to the track. He's going to have some room. He'll make the catch in front of the warning track, but tagging from third and scoring easily is Carlos Quentin. A long sacrifice fly to center for Nix. He's driven in 3 today, and Chicago has doubled their lead from 1 inning to the next. It's 4-0. Ramirez held at first base.
Gordon Beckham.
So Ozzie Guillen making the right choice at the top of the lineup today. With a left-hander going, he went with the youngster Jason Nix. Was in the Rockies organization until this year. Tossed back to first base, not in time. Gordon Beckham, a fly ball to center and a walk. The pitch, curveball, it's over the knees, a called strike. A's in the home whites today, and the White Sox in their alternate black tops. Breaking ball again, fouled off the foot by Beckham, and it is 0-2. Well, we'll see if the A's on Monday night are fortunate. Now, Beckham last year, top draft pick by Chicago out of the University of Georgia. And he's in the big leagues 1 year later. He's playing a position that he did not play in college. Shortstop in college, at least at the moment, he's a third baseman for Chicago. Josh Fields really struggled again this year. The power disappeared from a couple of years ago, and Beckham was given the opportunity when the A's came calling to the south side back in June. And he's been there ever since. A throw to first, the runner is going. They've got it picked off. Everett throws high, but it's in time. A tag applied by Pennington. They get Ramirez. The pickoff goes 1-3-6, and the inning is over. But 2 runs in on 3 hits, and it's on to the bottom of the 4th, 4-0 Chicago.
StubHub! Hey, Oakland fans, Dan Patrick here. Let me tell you about StubHub.
Right fielder, number 15,
Ryan Sweeney starts the bottom of the 4th. The A's trail at 4-0. Gavin Floyd, who is unbeaten against the A's with a 1.35 ERA and a handful of starts, starts off Sweeney with a fastball in the inside corner. Left-hand batter singled the other way back in the 2nd. He's 4 for 6 in the series. One strike offer, tries to check the swing. He cannot on a breaking ball down. And Ryan in a hole, 0-2. Tommy Everidge and Jack Cuss to follow. Sweeney out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, originally property out of high school, drafted by Chicago. He takes a breaking ball outside. That's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Never really got a chance with Chicago, a 2nd-round pick in 2003. 1-2 offer, breaking ball down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And you look at the A's outfield right now, Ray. You've got Scott Hairston in left, really getting his first chance to be an everyday player. Rajai Davis, the same way with the A's. And Ryan Sweeney, who didn't get that chance at another organization, and getting that opportunity in Oakland. 2-2 the count. Here comes the pitch. Fastball up and in. 3-2 on Sweeney. And sometimes when you're looking to build your organization, yes, you always want to hit on your draft picks, but that's not necessarily the case always. You got to find players from other organizations. Hope that the change of scenery helps. Backdoor breaking ball stays up and away, and that's a start for the A's. The leadoff man is on in the bottom of the 4th, and now here's Tommy Everidge.
0-2 with a 4-run lead and a 3-2 breaking ball once it got to that point. Very surprising, especially with, I'm sure, the cutter that Gavin Floyd likes to throw to the right-handers, maybe backdoor to the lefty. But a good at-bat by Ryan Sweeney.
Now Everidge, a pop-up, his first time to left field back in the 2nd. 4 runs, 5 hits for Chicago. No runs, 4 hits, and an error for the A's. To set the pitch, fastball to the outside corner. And that error did lead to a run, an unearned run, charged to Gio Gonzalez. So he's allowed 4 runs, 3 of them are earned. Outfield deep the other way for Tommy. The pitch, swing and a miss. Good breaking ball down and away. And it's 0-2 on Everidge. Getting a chance to be the A's everyday first baseman. Sweeney being held at first base by Konerko. Floyd with a 4-run lead out of the stretch. His 0-2. Swing and a foul tip held on by Przinsky. Challenged him upstairs and got it by him for strike 3. That is a 4th K for Floyd, and now here's Jack Cust. Jack just trying to find a parachute to stop this tailspin. He has not driven in a run since July 23rd. He's 0 for 3 in this series, and as streaky as Jack has been in the past, that even that number is mind-boggling. Overshift is on for Jack. The pitch, look out, almost unbuckled his belt. It came too tight, and that's ball one. I mean, there have been times in his 2 seasons with the Athletics where Jack has had stretches of 4 or 5 or about 10 games where he'd have a handful of home runs and a bunch of RBIs. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just on the breaking ball. But Jack just can't seem to find a way to consistently connect. And it doesn't matter if there's somebody on base, somebody in scoring position, him leading off an inning, 2 outs, nobody on. All those scenarios have been a challenge for Jack to get the bat going. 1-1 fastball off the plate outside, ball 2. He has had his share of walks recently, but the A's need him to drive the baseball.
Well, he's got to be thinking about the home run drought as well as the RBI drought. Because the last one he hit was a big one, but it's been a while.
A long hole by Floyd. The pitch sails off the plate outside. He's behind 3-1 to Cust. Mark Ellis waiting on deck. Now, this is where the A's got back in the game last night. They were down 6-0 and didn't seem to be in any area of really getting things going against Contreras. Then suddenly a 1-out home run by Scott Hairston got things going, and then an error in the outfield, a hit batter, and a big hit by Ellis, and the A's were back in it. 3-1, fouled back off the hands, right onto the screen, and it's a full count. Cleveland in the 3rd inning now leading Minnesota 3-0. That's news because that equals the number of runs they've scored, or actually more than the runs they've scored. The Indians in their last 3 games, only 1 run they had scored. They try to derail the hopes of the Twins in the AL Central. 3-2 fastball, got him looking. Jack Cust frozen at home plate, and he strikes out for the 2nd time today. 5 Ks for Floyd, and it's got to be a very lonely walk back to the dugout right now for Jack Cust. Here's Ellis. He took strike 3 on an inside curveball back in the 3rd inning.
Jack just missed the fastball in, and then Floyd went back outside, and that's the pitch he took.
Swing and a miss on a breaking ball to Ellis for strike 1. 4-0 Chicago in the 4th. White Sox trying to catch the Tigers. They're 2.5 back of the Tigers in the AL Central. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul back. It's 0-2. Tigers tonight hosting Kansas City. Tigers with a back-to-back shutouts. Their pitching has been outstanding recently. They've got Edwin Jackson going tonight. 0-2 the count. Runner goes. The pitch swung on, fought off. Sweeney got a good jump, but with 2 strikes, Mark's got to protect the plate. And Sweeney will retrace his steps back to first. Atlanta 2-1 over Philadelphia. That's in the 4th inning. Ryan Howard won it for the Phillies last night with a home run. 4th win in a row for the Phillies. A 4.5 game lead on the Marlins. 6 better than Atlanta. Breaking ball down and away as Mark leaned on it and let it go by. Tough take, but he did, and it's 1-2. St. Louis 4.5 better than Chicago in the Central. The Dodgers lead is only 5 over Colorado in the West in the National League. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Floyd readies and fires. A check swing as Mark is trying to fight off one pitch after another. Sweeney was on the move. He's back to first base. Texas trailing the Angels by 4.5 in the West. They trail the Red Sox by 1.5 in the wild card. And the Yankees now some 30 games over 500. Best record in baseball. 6.5 ahead of the Boston Red Sox. The 1-2. Swung on and lifted out of play off to the right. So the at-bat continues for Ellis. Trying to make something happen with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th with the A's down 4-0. Rios a few steps the other way toward right center. A turn and a throw back to first to keep Sweeney close. The A's have swiped at least one base in 10 consecutive games. Sweeney has 5 this year. He's been caught 5 times. We talked about earlier, Gavin Floyd, typically, based on the numbers, has been a pitcher to run on with 14 steals. Reddy's at the letters, comes to the plate. Breaking ball is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's something that's really helped Mark Ellis, the ability to be quick enough to handle a fastball, but yet with 2 strikes, patient enough to start to swing and hold up his bat and take a pitch out of the strike zone.
Floyd readies is 2-2. Swung on, pulled on the ground, third. It's a fair ball by Beckham toward the A's bullpen. Sweeney racing to third base. Quentin's got to come in and get it. Sweeney's around third. He will score without a throw. Standing at second base with another RBI is Mark Ellis. The A's are on the board. They trail 4-1. 17 RBIs in August for Mark Ellis. Nobody has done it better in the American League.
And there's your great at bat by Mark Ellis. 8 pitches and finally got the hanging breaking ball, and the chairs in the bullpen, the big help for the Athletics. As the players got out of the way and the chairs kind of carried the ball around a little bit.
So Quentin, while he was going toward the left field corner, had to come and get to the ball just where it juts out. Didn't quite get to the corner, and that was the difference for Sweeney to score all the way from first base. Now Cliff Pennington with a man at second base. A's down 4-1. The pitch, swing and a miss, pulled off the fastball, and it's a 1-1. Remember, in last night's game, following the 3-run double by Mark Ellis, then moving to third on the throw home, it was Pennington who came up right behind him and singled in Ellis with a base hit up the middle. The 1-strike offer. Swung on, lifted behind third base in a foul ground. Beckham giving chase along with Ramirez toward the bullpen. They can't get to it. Can't get to it in time. Great effort by 3 White Sox defenders, but the at-bat continues for Cliff Pennington. 4 runs, 5 hits for Chicago. 1 run, 5 hits, and an error for the A's. Beckham got across the goal line.
Yeah, I just ran out of the bullpen. Or the
ran out of the end zone. So Floyd ready to go. He checks Ellis, comes to the plate. Backdoor breaking ball up and away. 1-2 on Cliff Pennington.
Well, there's so many lines out on the field. You don't know where the coach's box or the.
It's like when you go to the gym, the high school gym, and it's a line for volleyball and for basketball, and you just can't keep track of what's in bounds and what isn't. Another 1-2 pitch to Pennington. Floyd fires, and it's swung on and missed. Cutter down and in. The inning is over. The A's get on the board. We head to the 5th inning. 4-1 Chicago. 4-1. Here's Ken.
And for the Sox, Gordon Beckham leads it off against the A's lefty Gio Gonzalez. 4 runs, 5 hits for Chicago. Run on 5 hits and error for the A's. And the 2, 3, and 4 hitters, Beckham, Dye, and Thome. And Beckham takes low, and it's 1-0. Chicago 2 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth. The A's only run coming in the bottom of the fourth. Beckham, a right-hander hitter. He's flied out and walked. Here's the pitch by Gio. And that's taken for a strike in the outside corner, 1-1.
Well, it's nice to see one of the A's former general managers in the house today, and that's MC Hammer.
Yeah, MC's here today.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. It's on the way, and the 1-1 to Beckham. And it's taken low, and it's 2-1. How did the A's fare under his leadership?
Won 3 championships.
He was about 50% of the front office back then, wasn't he?
He was about 15, too.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, line to right, a base hit by Beckham. Boy, is he impressive. 357 for his last 30 games, a line drive base hit to right. How does a player make the kind of tradition or kind of transition like he has, Ray, from playing in collegiate baseball last year to batting better than 300 in the big leagues this year?
The biggest thing, seeing him, and we saw him when he came up in June in Chicago, but the way he has used the opposite field, he's not trying to pull pitches. He's actually hitting them where they're thrown, and that's a great teaching lesson. Just do that.
Dye is singled and walked. Jermaine takes the ball, and it's 1-0. Chicago leading 4-1. The White Sox batting in the top of the fifth.
And I'm sure there's people who say, well, why doesn't he pull the ball? If he could hit the opposite field, he will eventually learn to pull.
The pitch to Dye is on the way. The infield double play depth, and a swing and a miss by Jermaine. The count 1-1. The 8th selection overall last year. Gordon Beckham. He was the SEC MVP for Georgia. Hit .411 last year in college. He's at first. Everidge holding him on. Here's the set by Gio. Ready at the belt. The pitch to Dye. A swing on bounce back to third. A foul ball left of the bag. And the count to Jermaine is 1-2. The A's aren't going to see Mark Buehrle this weekend.
I think Mark's just as happy because he does not seem to have very good luck against the A's, whether it's here or in Chicago.
The ERA isn't that bad, but the one loss is not so good against the Athletics. Trevor Cahill against John Danks tomorrow at 1:05. Here's a throw to first, and diving back is Beckham.
That is great what Buehrle said about growing up in the St. Louis area. Goes there for the All-Star game, says he'd like to play there. I think it's great. It's not tampering. It's just saying that was his lifelong dream. He happened to be drafted by Chicago, and they're going to keep him as long as they can.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way to Dye in the dirt, blocked by Suzuki. 2-2. 4-1 White Sox. Nobody out. Beckham at first for Chicago in the top of the fifth. The second perfect game in White Sox history. July 23rd against Tampa Bay. And what a catch by Dwayne Wise.
How about his catch who never caught him?
Yeah. Here's the pitch. The set. Gonzalez to the plate on the way. Dye pops it foul down the right side out of play in the lower deck. And they count 2 balls and 2 strikes. The last out was a ground ball to short to Alexi Ramirez. Second perfect game in Sox history. The only other one was 1922 Charles Robertson against the Tigers in Detroit. Now Dye takes the ball. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jermaine. Only the 24th player in baseball history to have multiple no-hitters. And the 6th to have one of those no-hitters as a perfect game. Pretty select group. Here's the 3-2 on the way. Beckham leads. He's running, and Dye, it's a drive into deep right center field. Rajay Davis going over. It's playable. He's out there to make the catch, and getting back to first is Beckham. So Dye flies to right center. That's out number 1. And that'll bring up Jim Thome, who's flied to left and struck out.
You know, one great thing about Rajay Davis, the way he's taken over center field, if you're Harrison left or Sweeney in right, just let him control. Let him patrol from right center, left center. When he is close to it, just get out of the way, as Ryan Sweeney did. Just kind of peeled off. And Rajay loves to run, loves to cover the ground, and he can do an exceptional job.
You have to do that, right? And Alex Rios will have to do that with the White Sox.
Take charge.
Today, just his third ball game with them. Jim Thome, broken bat bouncer, a diving play by Gonzalez. He gets up and throws to first for the out. He almost pulled Tommy Everidge off the bag, so broken bat. It took Gio off the mound to the first base side. He made a good Kenny Rogers-like diving play. throws to first for the second out. On the play, Beckham goes to second.
Yeah, if Gio doesn't catch the ball, it might be a rare infield hit for Jim Thome, because it was really slowed down because of the broken bat. Infield playing back with a shift.
He hasn't had too many of those over the years. He has had 562 home runs. So here's Big Paul Konerko, who's 0 for 2. He's bounced out twice today. Was robbed by Pennington back in the second. He's 0 for his last 18. 4-1 Chicago at top of the fifth. And with 2 away, Beckham's at second. Right-handed hitter deep in the box, slightly open. Gonzalez kicks and throws, and Konerko takes a breaking ball low. Even when you've had the kind of success that he has, how do you deal with an 0 for 18?
Walk him. Eventually he's going to come out of it, there's no doubt. But he's had a lot of success, not so much in his early career, but definitely the White Sox.
The 1-0 pitch, here it is by Gio, and it's taken low in the count 2-0. Rios is on deck. A lot of speculation about next year for the White Sox with the addition of Rios on the waiver claim from Toronto. Paul Konerko is in the 4th year of a 5-year deal. Jim Thome will be a free agent. So with Beckham at second, here's the check, and Gio throws, and Konerko takes inside his 3-0. There's a mutual option for Jermaine Dye with the White Sox for next year. So he might not be back. 3 balls and no strikes. The outfield, there's a gap in right center. Gonzalez out of the stretch. And the 3-0 pitch is a fastball down the middle, a strike, 3-1.
Now that's the surprising part right there. 0 for 18 and not swinging on a 3-0, figuring you're going to get a fastball in the middle of the plate.
Yeah, why not?
Don't even look for a sign, just swing. Pay the fine.
The 3-1 pitch with 2 out. And it's on the way, and Konerko takes low, and Konerko walks, and Rios will be coming up. So 2 on, 2 out, 5th inning, 4-1 Chicago. The A's against the Yankees on Monday night. Vin Mazzaro against A.J. Burnett. Probably Dukeshire on Tuesday against C.C. Sabathia. Wednesday night, Brett Anderson against Chad Godin. Kurt Young goes to the mound. The A's are off. On Thursday, the Tigers come in for a 3-game series beginning on Friday night. Tigers hosting KC again tonight. The only other ball game going in the American League is at the Metrodome, where the Indians are on top of Minnesota 3-0 in the 4th. NL, the Cubs defeated the Pirates today 3-1 in the 5th inning. The Phils and Braves are tied up at 2-2. In the 5th, the Mets are on top of the Giants 1-0. Here it's 4-1 Chicago. Rios robbed by Rajai Davis in the 2nd and popped out in the 4th. The pitch by Gonzalez, a breaking ball in for a strike. Santiago Casilla gets up in the A's pen. Right-hander Santiago Casilla. Here's the 0-1 on the way to Rios. Breaking ball low, and it's 1-1. Pierzynski is on deck. Now the 1-1 pitch is on the way. The pause. Gio kicks and throws. That's taking a fastball low at 2-1. The outfield, left field, Harrison a step toward the line, and center Rajai Davis 2 or 3 steps toward left center. The right fielder Sweeney is straight away. Beckham at second, Konerko at first. Rios right on top of the plate. And Gonzalez checks the runners now to the plate. And the 2-1 pitch on the way is a ground ball to short. Pennington's got it. Flipped to second in time for the force. And Gonzalez works out of it. White Sox get 2 runners on base. They leave them both. And halfway through our ball game today, after 4.5, it's 4-1 Chicago.
Extra Sports 8-6.
The A's come up in the bottom of the fifth. They're trailing 4-1, the top of the order against Gavin Floyd with Kennedy, Davis, and Suzuki. Beautiful day in the East Bay. Should be great tomorrow for the turn back the clock day. Heading back to 1929.
Are those wool flannels? You guys gonna...
I don't know. I haven't asked Bruce. I wouldn't think so. It'd be pretty hot, wouldn't it?
Very. I don't think Bruce would torture them that way.
So here's Kennedy, a left-handed hitter, 2 for 2. And the pitch, and it's swung on line to left center for a base hit. He's 3 for 3. Rios over to cut it off, turning it first, a wide turn. Kennedy holds with a single. Adam, what a job he's done. So he's 3 for 3 today, and Rajai Davis is coming up. 4 runs on 6 hits. Chicago runs 6 hits, an error for the A's. Rajai has bounced into a double play and legged a double.
You know, the one thing about Adam Kennedy, he takes what is given to him. Make a mistake, off-speed pitch, you might pull it for a home run or hit a first pitch of a game for a home run in the opposite field, but great opposite field hitter, and he's shown it 3 times a day.
He's a pro. Rajai swings, hits a fly ball in short center. Rios coming on, going out from second is the second baseman Nix, and the ball drops in front of the center fielder Rios. A base hit for Rajai Davis. So his first ball swinging here in this bottom of the fifth, and they have 2 on and nobody out. So Davis is 2 for 3, and Suzuki is coming up. Curtis struck out and walked. So 7 hits for the A's. They're down by 3 runs. Suzuki batting with Hairston on deck. Right-handed hitter. Struck out and walked today. 2 on, nobody out. 4-1 Chicago. The pitch to Suzuki. Strike in the outside corner with Scott Hairston on deck. Well, the A's have had 9 base runners so far. 7 hits and 2 walks. Infield double play depth. The outfield straight away. Here's a delivery on the way, and it's swung on a drive into right center field. Dye going back, nearing the track, makes a backhanded catch, fires the ball back to the infield. The runners have to get back. Kennedy back to second and Davis back to first. Pretty well hit ball the other way. Out toward right center, and Dye made a backhanded play, and Scott Hairston's coming up. That's out number 1 in the bottom of the fifth. Chicago leading 4-1.
I think Adam Kennedy thought the ball might hit the gap and went back to attack, but after Jermaine Dye had caught the ball, and Dye did a good job. He did not let his momentum stop before he threw the ball back in. He threw while he was running. And at that point, I don't know if Gallego told Kennedy, don't try to come, but he very wisely went back to second.
Jermaine is a very accomplished outfielder.
Yes,
really solid out there and right. Here's Hairston, a right-handed hitter. 2 on and 1 out. Floyd checks to get his sign out of the stretch. Here's the pause. He throws, and Scott takes outside 1-0. We talked last night about Scott's roots on the south side of Chicago with his family. His grandfather, Sam Hairston, the first African-American ever to play for the White Sox. Right on top of the plate, he's a right-handed hitter. The runners lead from first and second, and the 1-0 delivery. Floyd throws, and Scott swings and misses. Now the count 1-1.
He actually grew up listening to Hawk.
Yeah.
How about that?
Put it on the board. 1951, Sam Hairston, Scott's grandfather, joined the White Sox as their first African-American. Sam was a great player in the Negro Leagues for many years. Now the 1-1 pitch, and Scott hits a ground ball to short, double play ball. Ramirez to second, relayed to first by Nix. Taylor made an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. And after 5, it's still 4-1 Chicago.
Welcome.
Sixth inning, 4-1 in favor of Chicago. Przinsky, Quinton, and Ramirez against Gio Gonzalez. 85 pitches so far for Gio. Sox have 6 hits. The A's have 7. AJ is 1 for 2 today. Gonzalez, though, is walk 4. Lefty against lefty matchup. And the pitch to Przinsky is on the way. Gio throws a breaking ball outside. Remember, the White Sox last year wound up after 162 games tied with Minnesota in the Central. They won the one-game playoff, and so they finished 89-74 last year. The 1-0 to AJ is taken for a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. This is the 6th year for Ozzie Guillen at the helm. And one of the best quotes in sports. Here's the 1-1 pitch, taken low, and it's 2-1. He is an original, isn't he, Ray?
Yes, he is.
2-1 to Przinsky. They won the World Series in 05. Here's the 2-1 delivery, taken low, 3-1. They've won the Central twice under Ozzie's leadership.
There's a great quote last night following the Red Sox Texas game from Terry Francona when he said, when you think you've seen everything in this game, you're not even close. After that remarkable ninth inning for his club.
Lefty against lefty, the 3-1 to Przinsky, and that's taken low, and that's ball 4. Frank Francisco gave it up last night for Texas. So 5th walk allowed by Gonzalez, and Quinton is coming up. Well, one of the things that Ozzie was serious about this past week, thinking that his players were getting thrown at, and saying that they will protect their position players. And he said, we are not going to take this anymore. He said too many guys have bumps and bruises. And specifically, he was talking about Paul Konerko.
Right.
Kurt Young goes to the mound. Casilla back up to throw in the bullpen for the A's. We're playing in the 6th inning. The White Sox lead at 4-1. On Friday night, the A's take on the Tigers at 7:05, and 15,000 fans get a Jason Giambi collectible bobblehead. That's brought to you by the San Jose Mercury News. You can get tickets online at OaklandAthletics.com. You can call 877-493-BALL. They also asked Ozzie about Wrigley Field because the Sox have to play there every year in interleague play. So they asked him, Ozzie, what do you think of Wrigley? And he said, every time I walk in there, I want to puke. He said the people are great, but he hates the facility. The north side and the south side in Chicago. Pretty good rivalry. Here's Carlos Quinton, a right-handed hitter. Runner at first. The pitch to Quinton is swung on and fouled back out of play in the count 0-1.
And he won't hold anything back with his own players.
Oh, no. Did what he said about Przinsky, was that for publication?
Well, it went on our TV last night, some quotes of Ozzie's, and yeah, it was in quotes of what he said.
Which was the 0-1 pitch outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If Przinsky plays on another team, you have a tendency to hate him, but if he's on your team, you don't hate him as much. That was quote unquote from Ozzie. So that's the Ozzaroo, as they say.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Carlos Quinton on the way. Off speed, taken outside is 2-1. After last year, and no longer with the ball club this year, Javier Vasquez and Nick Swisher, Orlando Cabrera. 2-1 delivery. Gonzalez throws and Quinton takes outside. Now it's 3-1. Ken Griffey Jr. finished up last year with the White Sox. Played 41 games for them. The 3-1 pitch with nobody out. Casilla throwing in the bullpen, and it's taken for a strike on the outside corner. Remember, they had to win 3 consecutive games just to make it into postseason last year, as they stumbled down the stretch, but they beat the Indians on the Sunday, the last scheduled day of the regular season. Then they had to beat the Tigers in a makeup game the next day on that Monday. 3-2 is taken outside, ball 4, and that's going to be it, I would think, for Gio. So back-to-back walks leading off for the White Sox in the 6th inning. Pitching change break in the action. Santiago Casilla summoned from the bullpen. We'll come back to the Coliseum after this. picking up here for Gio Gonzalez. This pitching change is brought to you by Corona. Kick back and relax with an ice cold Corona and lime. Relax responsibly. So after the back-to-back walks to Przinsky and Quinton, exit Gonzalez, enter Santiago Casilla. Alexi Ramirez is coming up, a tough right-handed hitter. Not exactly your prototypical number 9 hitter. He's walked in single today and has an RBI, 54 for the year. A's thinking about a possible sacrifice. They're playing in on the corners. Casilla comes set, turns, and around to bunt. Ramirez drops it down the third baseline. Bare hand by Casilla. Goes to first in time for the out. So Ramirez sacrifices. Przinsky over to third. Quinton to second. 1-3 on the sack, and Jason Nix is coming up. Remember that Ramirez had a grand slam against the A's last year here in the game that Gio Gonzalez started on August 17th. Thirty-ninth appearance, 1-2, a 5.66 ERA. The infield is halfway for the A's. Przinsky at third, Quinton at second, and now the pitch on the way, and Nix takes outside in the count 1-0. He drove in Przinsky with his sac fly back in the fourth. 4-1 Chicago. The outfield slightly toward left. Nix out of Midland, Texas, right-handed hitter. The pitch by Casilla, taken outside. A sandwich pick of the Rockies in 0-1. Thing about the White Sox, remember, for years they just couldn't win here. And Ramirez had a huge series against the A's at the Coliseum in mid-August last year. Casilla, third base side of the rubber at the belt. The pitch, and Nix takes a strike, a fastball 95 right down the middle, and the count 2-1. 4-1 White Sox. Przinsky at third, Quinton at second. That series between these two ball clubs right here began exactly 1 year ago today. Here's the pitch by Casilla, taken on the outside corner, a strike, close pitch, 2-2, and the White Sox won 2 out of 3 in that series. But even with the Sox beating the A's here last night, if you go back to the beginning of the 2001 season at the Coliseum, the A's are 28-9 against Chicago. Hitting room in right center, 2 on, 1 out. And the 2-2 pitch on the way outside, missed with a fastball at 98. Now it's 3-2. And Ramirez in that series here last year was 4 for 12 with 2 home runs and 8 RBIs. Jason Nix, a right-handed hitter. He's batting. Beckham is on deck. First base is open. Casilla. The set, the pitch, the 3-2 is swung on and foul back. A fastball, and the count holds. Santiago Casilla. His teammates call him Willie.
And Willie needs a strikeout here.
Yes, he does.
Ground ball to one of his infielders.
White Sox leading 4-1. Przinsky walk, Quinton walk. Alexi Ramirez sacrificed. Nix deep in the box, slightly open with a stance. Casilla, third base side of the rubber, has the sign at the belt. And the 3-2 pitch is fought off and fouled back out of play, and the count holds. The Indians and Twins have got to the 5th inning, and Minnesota leads 4-0. The Angels play tonight. Halos gave up 16 runs last night. Or Cleveland, what did I say?
Minnesota.
So Cleveland leads Minnesota 4-0 in the 5th. Thank you, Ray. Cleveland 4, Minnesota 0, 5th inning. Infield halfway. White Sox have runners at second and third. And the 3-2 to Nix by Casilla. Swung on and blooped on the infield. Going to be caught by Ellis, the second baseman, and the runners have to hold. So Casilla with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And Nix pops out to the second baseman Ellis between first and second. And Beckham is coming up. Right now, the A's, Casilla is trying to keep the A's in this ball game.
Some would say the scoreboard velocity is a little bit inflated. But who cares if it works?
Right.
Makes the hitters have to cheat a little bit more, and the pitchers feel very strong.
Would a hitter notice the difference between, let's say, 94 and 98?
Yeah.
Here's Beckham, a right-handed hitter. It's taking inside, and it's 1-0.
I think they would, because it means they better tune it up a notch or two and kind of load up a little bit earlier.
Gordon Beckham deep in the box, close to the plate, slightly open, and Casilla throws. And Beckham, it's a line drive. It'll score 2 runs down the left field line. Might be extra bases. Brzezinski scores. Clinton behind him to score. Beckham hesitates, now goes to second, and the White Sox take a 6-1 lead. Boy, his heat's up. 6-1 Chicago.
And we talked about Beckham hitting it off to right field, but he just turned a 97 fastball down the left field line.
So all 6 of the runs are charged to Gonzalez. Beckham at second, and Dye takes low and outside 1-0. 43 RBIs for Beckham. And he didn't join the White Sox until early June for that series against the A's. He's at second at 6-1. And Casilla throws, and Jermaine swings and fouls it back, and the count 1-1. Jermaine Dye is 35 now, Ray. You'd have to put him, I think, in the all-time good category.
Yeah.
He has over 300 lifetime home runs, over 1,000 RBIs.
He's still going to play some more.
He should.
Got a lot left in him.
From Vacaville. The set Casilla throws, and Jermaine takes a breaking ball outside. He said both of his parents would be here today. His wife is on hand. 2-1. 275 lifetime hitter. Came up with Atlanta. The 2-1 pitch to Jermaine. The pause, it's on the way. Dye whistles one to center for a base hit. Beckham's to third. Up with the ball is Davis. Here's the throw to the plate. It airmails the cutoff man. Dye goes to second safely, and the White Sox take a 7-1 lead. So for Jermaine, his 71st RBI, Rajay Davis with a mistake throwing in, missing the cutoff man by a mile. He had no chance for the out at the plate on Beckham, and in doing so, Dye able to take second base. And that'll bring up Jim Thome. So the A's had a chance to keep this within reason, as after Nix popped out, it was still 4-1. Casilla pitching, then Beckham the double down the line, driving in 2. Dye the single to center, driving in 1. And now big Jim Thome. Chicago leading 7-1, and Jim takes it low, and it's 1-0. It's just been an uneven year for Santiago Casilla. Full shift down the infield. Ellis playing on the 25-yard line. Here's the pitch, and Thome takes inside, and it's 2-0. Next up on the home run list, as Vince said, Reggie. Thome has 562, Reggie 563. Paul Merrill 569, Harmon Killebrew 573. A-Rod currently at 574 is number 9. The pitch to Thome. And Jim swings and misses. Now it's 2-1. He's 11th on the all-time walks list. 2-1 to Thome is taken outside 3-1. The big hurt, by the way, is number 9. Frank Thomas walked 1,667 times. Top of the 6th, 3 runs in. 7-1 Chicago. Thome's 0 for 3. And the pitch, Casilla throws, and Thome takes low. It gets away from Suzuki. On the play, Dye goes over to third. Thome walks. Number 1,616 in that category. On the wild pitch, Dye goes over to third. Thome's at first. And Paul Konerko's coming up, and Kurt Young goes to the mound. It hasn't been a real sparkling afternoon for the green and gold. 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the White Sox. A run on 7 hits, an error for the A's.
Sometimes it's really frustrating when you see how good an arm that Casilla has, and we've talked about 96 to 98 miles an hour today, but it's so much more than that. And being able to move the ball, have movement on the pitches. And it just seems like with the package that Willie has, the confidence doesn't match the package, and maybe as that there isn't that conviction on the delivery of the pitch.
He should be better. The A's pitchers have walked 7 today, and Konerko's standing in. Bounced out twice and walked. Thomey's at first, Dye at third. Konerko, right-handed hitter. Casillas' pitch is a breaking ball taken outside, 1-0. Jay Marshall gets up in the A's bullpen. Here's the pitch to Konerko. It's a 1-0. Casillas throws, dribbled foul left of the plate. Konerko debuted with the Dodgers in '97. He's been with the White Sox since '99. Had 41 home runs in '04. He had 40 homers the next year in '05. He's a right-handed hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 3 runs in. Top of the 6th inning. The White Sox on top 7-1. Alex Rios is on deck. Casillas ready at the belt. And the 1-1 pitch to Konerko. Check swing foul straight back. First round pick of the Dodgers, the 13th selection overall in '94. When he got to the Coast League in Albuquerque, he just mashed. But there were those who thought those numbers might have been inflated because of the hitting friendly nature of the Coast League, and especially that ballpark there. Konerko swings. It's a high pop and a short right. Ellis going out. Mark's under it now, and he makes the catch. The inning is over. A 3-run top of the 6th for Chicago. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's 7-1 in favor of the White Sox. Leads off for the A's. We go to the bottom of the 6th. A lot of work to do for the green and gold. It's 7-1 Chicago. Sweeney, Everidge, and Cust against big Gavin Floyd. 6'5" and 230. Sweeney has singled and walked, the left-handed hitter. Here's the pitch. Floyd to the plate. It's on the way, and a fastball for a strike. 7-8-0 Chicago. Run, 7 hits, an error for the A's. Here's the delivery on the way, and Ryan swings and misses. Now the count 0-2. The Indians have extended their lead over the Twins 7-0 in favor of Cleveland. They're batting in the top of the 5th. Home runs by Chu and Sizemore. The 0-2 now. Ryan takes inside. Sizemore, number 16. The Angels against Baltimore tonight. John Lackey against Brian Mattis. Lackey's 7-5. The Orioles put 16 runs on the Angels last night. Swung out and missed. So Sweeney down on strikes, and Everidge is coming up. KC is at Detroit. Luke Hochhaver against Edwin Jackson. Toronto's at Tampa Bay. Brian Talbot and Scott Kazmir. The Red Sox at Texas. Brad Penny against Derek Holland. The Yankees at Seattle. Sergio Mitre and Luke French in that game. The Yanks have won 2 straight over the Mariners in the Northwest. Tommy Everett swings and fouls it back. 7-1 White Sox. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th. In the NL today, the Cubs defeated the Pirates 3-1. Gorzelani over Duke. Gorzelani beats his former club. Kevin Gregg saved number 23. Huge gap in left center, and the pitch to Tommy Everidge. Swung on and foul back. Now it's 0-2. Atlanta and the Phillies, bottom of the 6th. They're tied up at 2. Home run by Brian McCann, number 13. A 2-run shot accounting for the Braves' runs. Kenshin Kawakami for Atlanta. Cole Hamels for the Phillies. The Giants have come back with a 3-run top of the 6th in New York. Now the 0-2, and Everidge takes on the outside corner, ring him up, strike 3 called. So it's 3-1 San Francisco in the 6th inning over the Mets. Matt Cain and Johan Santana, the pitching matchup. 7-1 White Sox, 2 out, nobody on, bottom of the 6th. The Rockies are at Florida. Cook against Vandenhurst. Astros at Milwaukee. Moeller against Burns. Nationals at Cincinnati. Martin against Cueto. They shift the infield, and Cuss hits a line drive at second, taken there by Nix. The inning is over. The A's go down 1-2-3, and after 6, 7-1 Chicago. Runs, 8 hits and no errors. The Athletics a run on 7 hits and errors. 7th inning. Here's Vince.
Jay Marshall, his 3rd appearance since coming back from the minor leagues. He worked in last night's game, faced one batter. Pacetic laid down a sacrifice. The sidewinding, submarining lefty delivers down and into Rios, ball 1. Rios, a fly ball to deep left center, a catch at the wall by a leaping Rajay Davis, and a fly ball to center on a ground ball. He swings and fouls one off to the right, and it's 0-2. And Ray, I've got a question for you. Alex Rios has been a 2-time All-Star. He was in the home run derby across the bay in San Francisco a couple of years ago. He's wearing his number backwards. He's wearing 51. He wore 15 with the Blue Jays. There's a change that misses inside for Marshall. The guy that wears 15 for Chicago is the rookie, Gordon Beckham. 2-1 offer. Line up the middle. Almost took Marshall with it. And through to center field by the backhand attempt of Mark Ellis. So Rios gets his first hit today, his 2nd in the series. That's how they greet Jay Marshall, and here comes Przinsky. So my question is, maybe at some point, maybe because Rios has joined the team on the road, they weren't prepared to do this, but don't you think, is it the rookie's obligation to say, I'm wearing your number, do you want it back? Or is it Rios' obligation to say, hey kid, you're wearing my number, let's talk about it? First pitch on the way to Pierzynski, down and in. He swings and misses for strike one.
I think it might be a case of Rios asking Beckham, I wore that number. Would you mind letting me pay $100,000? Give it, give it to me.
not a couple of wedges. Bouncing ball to second. Ellis has it, goes to Pennington for one, back to first. An easy double play. They turn it 4-6-3. And that'll bring Carlos Quentin to the plate. But first we pause. 10 seconds.
Number 20, Carlos Quentin.
On a Saturday afternoon, top of the 7th with Ken Korak and Ray Fosse. Vince Cotroneo with you. 7-1 Chicago. They have not trailed in this game today. The first pitch on the inside corner, strike one.
I also think, Vince, that maybe Rios realizes that Beckham's got a heck of a future. He might be a Hall of Famer, so why mess around? Let him have the number.
A swing and a fly ball to left center. Back onto this Hairston toward the track. He's got some room. One step onto the track. Makes the catch. After the base hit, the double play, and then Marshall faces the minimum. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 7-1 Chicago.
At Bank of the...
Bottom of the 7th inning, A's trail at 7-1. Mark Ellis, the lone bright spot for the A's, has got a double and an RBI to this point. His 17th RBI in the month of August. Leading off the bottom of the 7th against Gavin Floyd. A swing and a miss on the first pitch for strike one. Floyd continues to be a mystery to the A's. This is not something that is new to Oakland. He's done it now on 4 occasions. The delivery, breaking ball inside, 1-1 the count. A 1.35 ERA, a 1-0 record coming into this game would give you an indication that Floyd has known how to attack the A's hitters. His 1-1 fastball off the outside corner, ball 2. And just putting to rest the number controversy that I'm creating up here for Alex Rios and Gordon Beckham. There is precedence with of course, a very famous Chicago White Sox player. A swing and a high fly, shallow right, coming in for his die. He's near the 6-yard line, and he'll make the catch.
Would that be basketball?
No, it's, well, sure. I mean, Michael Jordan changed his number when he came back to the Bulls from 23 to 45. But when Pudge Fisk, left the Red Sox with number 27, he came to Chicago, wore 72, and that was the last number he wore in the big leagues. So maybe just that change of scenery, wants to just flip the number over, and maybe that was Alex Rios' idea all along. Here's Pennington. He is grounded out and struck out. He pulls it on the ground on the right side. Diving play by the new first baseman, and a flip over to first in time. And that's Mark Kotsay. He smothered the ball. The former Athletic flips it over to Floyd, and that's the second out, 3-1.
Well, he's made some great defensive plays, and there's another one. We saw him do it so often in center field. but have played a very good first base for the Red Sox and now the White Sox.
He was let go earlier this year, but then still managed not only to find work, but that just shows you the kind of character that Mark Kotsay has, the reputation he has, that he's with a club that's in contention again. How important it is to have that type of presence in their clubhouse. Now Kennedy bats, and he lifts one down the left field line, slicing away from Quentin. He can't get it. It's a fair ball, and it's deep in the corner. It's rattling around in the corner, and Kennedy's at second base. He'll hold there with an opposite field 2-out double. He's gone 4 for 4 today. The A's down 7-1. Adam Kennedy, who was 0 for 5 yesterday, and 7 for his last 38, has gone the opposite field all day with the exception of his fifth inning at bat. And now look what he's got, a 4 for 4 contest.
And I've got it for 7 pitches and 4 at-bats.
Yeah, not a lot. He doesn't like to wait around, that's for sure.
We're in trouble. David Renetti showed up.
3-5-1-1. David Renetti, a rare visit to the A's radio booth.
Comes over TV where he can go on TV.
Now Rajai Davis, he's 2 for 3. 8 hits for the A's, but down by 6, and Raj chases one off the plate down and away for strike 1. David in charge of stadium operations. Working overtime this week with football in the house. And the A's came back to begin a homestand last night. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball over the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Wasn't David's idea to have that miscolored grass out in center field, by the way.
Nor Clay Woods.
Do the best they can this time of the year. 0-2 pitch poked out of play off to the right.
I was talking to Clay today because last night in the outfield it seemed like even at nighttime sun was shining on that light colored grass with the light shining on it. It was unbelievable. He said, I looked at it too, and I said, from up here it just looked like a bright sunshine even at nighttime. Hopefully by Monday night I have a chance to paint it to where it look more like it's a real green grass.
Maybe those white lines will fade away a little bit before Monday as well. Another 2-strike pitch to Raj. Fastball up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gavin Floyd did not throw the ball particularly well his last time out. He was knocked out in the 6th inning, surrendered 5 runs against the Mariners, but he has been impressive today. He's allowed 1 run on 8 hits. He's walked 2 and K'd 8. He fires, and the pitch weakly rolled on the right side. Raj can run. Charging in, the second baseman Nix throws to first in time, and the inning is over. No runs, a double, and Kennedy left at second. On to the 8th. 7-1 Chicago. That refreshing moment brought to you by Pepsi. Pepsi, proud to be a sponsor of the Oakland Athletics. Every generation refreshes the world. On to the 8th inning. New pitcher for the A's. Once again, here's Ken.
And a pinch hitter for the White Sox. The right-handed batting Brent Lillibridge comes off the bench to a pinch hit for Alexi Ramirez. And Jeff Gray, pitching for the A's, delivers low and outside for ball 1. 7 runs, 9 hits. Chicago a run, 8 hits, an error for the Athletics. Lillibridge is pinch hitting against Jeff Gray. Hard-throwing right-hander, and the pitch, Gray throws. And that's a strike on the inside corner for Gray, his 7th appearance with the Athletics this year. No record, a 1.93 ERA. 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. Lillibridge, and the pitch to him is on the way. That's taken outside, and the count 2-1. Lillibridge just got back to the big leagues yesterday when Chris Getz got put on the DL by Chicago. A's play the outfield toward right. All Chicago today. They got 2 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 3 in the 6th. The swing and a foul back out of play. The A's only run coming in the bottom of the 4th. The A's and the White Sox tomorrow at 1:05. Then the Yankees in for 3 beginning on Monday at 7:05. The right-hander Scott Linebrink is up and throwing in the Chicago bullpen. For the A's, Gonzalez, Casilla, Marshall, and now Gray. Top of the 8th inning in the 2-2 pitch. Here it is to Lillibridge. That's taken outside, and the count 3-1. So then the Yankees in for 3 beginning on Monday night, an off day on Thursday. The Tigers in for 3 beginning on Friday night. Jeff Gray ready, delivers. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Lillibridge. A ground ball to short. Giving ground is Pennington. He guns it across to first in time for the out. 1 away, and that'll bring up Jason Nix. Ray, we're doing our charity poker tournament again this year over at the Warehouse in Oakland.
Good.
Announced that yesterday, the 2nd annual, to raise money for the high school baseball programs in the Oakland Athletic League. Our A's winning for the community charity. The date's been set for September 5th. The A's have a night game that day. It's a Saturday. We'll get together in the morning of the 5th over at the Warehouse at 402 Webster. Jeff Gray delivers the pitch to Jason Nix, taken outside 1-0. And the A's take on the Mariners at 6:05 that night.
I thought what you said earlier about a 40-game winning streak, and that would contribute heavily to the cause. Yeah.
That cost me a few bucks, wouldn't it?
We had hoped to do that.
The 1-0 pitch to Nix by Gray. Jeff throws and misses low, and it's 2-0. 7-1 Chicago. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 8th. Texas Hold'em. All the money goes to charity. It's a charity event. September 5th at the Warehouse. 2-0, the delivery by Gray, and it swung on a miss. The count 2-1. It's a $35 initial buy-in, and then the option for 2 $20 rebuys. Big barbecue will be part of the festivities over there at the Warehouse, beginning in the morning on the 5th of September. The 2-1 pitch is dribble foul back of the plate.
The rebuys are important because it proves.
You can sign up by calling the Warehouse. Here's the number you can call right now, 510-451-3161. 510-451-3161. We'll have some great prizes to give away. The 2-2 is inside. Did it hit him? It nicked him. And so Nix is nicked, and Beckham is coming up. So 1 out, 1 on. So we're going to have to, make good on some of the prizes, because last year we had some nice stuff to give away.
Sure, we can make sure that happens.
Thank you, Ray. 1 out, runner at first, 7-1 Chicago. So you can call the Warehouse. Yeah, I think a lot of the prizes were just great last year.
Get an UMA for you.
Yeah,
UMA.
fantastic.
Gets, yeah. Some baseballs, be some nice things.
For those of you on the winning side of things. Gray deals, and Beckham takes inside 1-0. You can call the Warehouse to sign up, 510-451-3161. You can email thewarehousebar.net, thewarehousebar.net, or you can drop by 402 Webster in Oakland. Swinging a high pop-up, playable short left field. to the 31-yard line. The 30, the 29-yard line is the shortstop Pennington. He makes the catch on the far side. A little bit of an out pattern out there by the A's shortstop. That's out number 2.
Speaking of the out pattern, MC Hammer taking his out pattern along the just above the MVP section, walking along. He's got his entourage and shaking hands. I don't know if he's got a new album coming out or running for public office or something, but he's
got a new TV show coming out.
Yeah. Did you have to negotiate your contract with him?
No. He just sat in the office, and of course he was the only one in the office too with Charlie's team. Charlie being in Chicago.
7-1 game, the pitch, and it's taken outside. Did you deal directly with Charlie on your negotiations?
Yes, we did.
How did you do that if he was in Chicago?
He showed up.
So you did it here?
He more or less told you what you were going to make, because at that point there was, until arbitration came in, there was no say really.
The 1-0 pitch taken outside 2-0. Did you ever hold out?
Well, Charlie's idea of negotiations, son, going to win the World Series and that'd be your raise. And that was pretty much it for 2 years.
And if you didn't?
Then you didn't get a raise.
2-0, 2 out, 7-1 Sox in the 8th, and Dye swing and a miss. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah. So there wasn't a lot of give and take with old Charlie O.
No. But the one thing they could have done, if he wanted to, he could have kept the club together, even when free agency came into play.
Here's the pitch, and Jermaine swings and pops it up. Playable back at first. Tommy Everidge and Ellis drifting back. Mark fighting the sun. He's there at the 4-yard line in foul territory. Ellis makes the catch. White Sox go down. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-1, Chicago.
Running a business.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the White Sox. Remaining in the game and playing shortstop, number 18, Greg Fielder. Now pitching for Chicago, number 71, Scott Linebacker.
The Athletics come up in the bottom of the 8th inning. A new pitcher for Chicago, the veteran right-hander Scott Linebrink comes in the game. In the A's bullpen, Edgar Gonzalez begins to loosen up. White Sox lead the A's 7-1. Suzuki, Hairston, and Sweeney. Gavin Floyd pitched well today. The White Sox starter went 7. Now Linebrink in the bottom of the 8th. A's have 8 hits. The White Sox have 9. Linebrink making his 43rd appearance, 2-5, a 3.05 ERA. The windup and the pitch to Suzuki is a breaking ball taken outside 1-0. Curtis struck out, walked, and lined out. So for Floyd, he goes 7, 8 hits, a run. He walked 2 and struck out 8. The 1-0 to Suzuki, taken for a strike, 1-1. Although the A's went down in order only once against Gavin Floyd. That was in the 6th inning. He got a single by Kennedy in the first, a single by Sweeney in the second. 1-1 to Suzuki is outside. In the third, they eventually loaded the bases. A single by Kennedy, a double by Davis, a walk to Suzuki, but Hairston flied out. Leadoff walk to Sweeney in the fourth. He's scored the A's only run on Ellis's 2-out double. The 2-1 delivery. Suzuki a drive into short center. Coming on Rios. He's not going to get it. Drops for a base hit. Suzuki drops a single to center, so the leadoff man is on for the A's in the 8th. They had back-to-back singles leading off in the 5th inning. Then Suzuki lined out, and Hairston bounced into a double play. Went down 1-2-3 in the 6th. A 2-out double by Kennedy in the 7th, but Davis bounced out. And now in the bottom of the 8th, a leadoff single by Suzuki, his first hit today. The A's 9th, they're down 7-1. And Scott Hairston 0 for 3. 15 home runs for the year, and the pitch to Scott is taken for a strike on the outside corner. Scott Linebrink. Some good years with the Padres. Right-hander wears number 71. Working from the stretch. The kick, the pitch, and that's taken low, and the count 1-1. Turning back the clock tomorrow, celebrating the 80th anniversary of the Philadelphia A's winning the 29 World Series for Connie Mack. What a record, 104-46. Here's the 1-1 by Linebrink. Swung on and dribbled toward third, charging is Beckham. He's got it one play to first on a hop, and it's dug out by Kotze. Good play by Mark. Suzuki goes to second. 5-3 on the play at first. One away, and Sweeney's coming up. 4 players in the 29 A's eventually got to the Hall of Fame. Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, Mickey Cochran, and Lefty Grove. The outfield in 29 was Simmons and Muehlhaus and Bing Miller. And collectively, they drove in 332 runs, and they batted .336. Sweeney, a left-handed hitter. It's on the way. Ryan takes inside 1-0. White Sox leading 7-1. Suzuki is at second in the bottom of the 8th.
That's the year also that Babe Ruth made more money than the president.
He had a better year, in his words.
Right.
The 1-0, here it is. It's on the way, and it's swung on and fouled back by Sweeney in the count 1-1. A's beat the Cubs in the World Series. Pre-game festivities include a parade of Model A's on the field. Entertainment from that era. Now the 1-1 with 1 out, and Sweeney hits it foul left side back out of play. The ceremonial first pitch is thrown out by the granddaughter of Connie Mack, Kathleen Kelly, the grandson of Jimmy Fox, Jim Conlon, who lives in California, lives in Angels Camp.
And I'm glad it's a day game, because couldn't have it turn back the clock on a night game because they didn't have lights in 29.
No, they did not. First night game was in Cincinnati. The next decade. Here's the 1-2 in the dirt, blocked by Przinsky. Lillibridge, by the way, a pinch hit for Ramirez, stays in the game in center field. 10,000 fans tomorrow get a retro 1929 Athletics jersey, sponsored by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Bottom half of the 8th inning, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Suzuki leads at second. Sweeney batting against Linebrink. And the pitch, and a check swing. Did he go? They appeal to third, and yes, says Gary Darling. They ring him up. Sweeney down on strikes. Everidge coming up. Was that a 7-1 in the 8th inning call by the third base ump?
I think it's a carryover from San Francisco.
This was the same crew that worked over there in the recent Giants-Dodgers series, and it got contentious over there, didn't it, Ray?
Sounds like it did, yes. It really did. Of course, experiencing the same in Baltimore a little bit.
It wasn't exactly dazzling, the umpiring at Camden Yards, was it?
No.
So that'll bring up Tommy Everidge with the runner at second. Tommy takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Scott Linebrink, 6'2" and 210. 33 years of age. He's from Austin, Texas. Second round pick of the Giants in '97. And the pitch to Tommy Everidge, a high fly ball, playable left center field. Quinton and Rios. It's going to be Rios, the center fielder, making the play. We go to the 9th inning, 7-1 Chicago. over in left field. Chicago 7-9-0. The A's 1-9-1. And Tommy, Kotsay, and Rios against Edgar. Gio Gonzalez 5 innings plus, and then Casilla and Marshall and Gray, and now Edgar Gonzalez as Jim Thome stands in. Big left-handed hitter from Peoria. They shift the infield. The windup by Gonzalez. The delivery is on the way, and Gentleman Jim takes an off-speed breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner. He has expressed, Ray, the desire to try to get to 600 home runs, and he should if he stays healthy.
Well, remember, he's going to Cleveland on a package deal with Manny Ramirez.
And the pitch is swung on and missed to count 0-2. Well, he's got 562. If he finishes somewhere this year, 573, 74, 75, conceivable.
Yeah.
He could get to 600 next year easy. The 0-2 to Jim is taken low, and it's 1-2.
No, I think it's something that he can continue to play, and he's going to get a job someplace. And if it's up to Manny, he would take him back to Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
That would be quite a boon for the Cleveland Indians after seeing some of their players go to other teams this year.
Really a class act, Jim Thome. Outside for a ball, what do you do with Mr. Hafner if Thome goes back to Cleveland?
No, well, that was just Manny being Manny.
Yeah. He's a 5-time All-Star, 97, 98, 99, 04, and 06. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch by Edgar Gonzalez. Thome dribbles down the first base line and hits him, and he's out, I think. Or was he in the batter's box?
He's in foul territory, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, because it did hit him, but I think he had gotten to the right of the line, running to first base.
He's been awfully consistent. His last full season with less than 30 home runs was 1995, when he had 25 with Cleveland. Now, he was hurt. He didn't play that much in 05. He had a back injury, an elbow injury, and played in just 59 games in 05. The 2-2 by Gonzalez swung on and foul back. He came up as a third baseman in the Cleveland system, 1991. His first year with the Phillies was 2001. In 09 marks his 4th season on the south side of Chicago. The 2-2 pitch by Edgar Gonzalez, and Thome, it's a fly ball to deep left. Cunningham is back, turning around at the track, and this ball is gone. And Jim Thome hits it out the other way, and he's tied Reggie Jackson on the all-time list for 12th all-time. Opposite field home run by Jim Thome, number 563 lifetime.
And that is Jim Thome at his best right there. The shift is on to pull the ball on the ground to the right side, but he can hit so many out to left field as he did in Cleveland, and he does this afternoon.
And he hit it where Reggie hit so many of his, so many of Reggie's 563 right here at the Coliseum. 563. The pitch to Mark Kotsay taken outside 1-0.
And he can retrieve that ball because it didn't go in the stands.
That's right.
Let's go down and just beyond the 367 sign.
Right between the steps and the out-of-town scoreboard out there. High for a ball taken by Kotsay in the count 2-0. The White Sox, by the way, are leading 8-1, in case you're wondering. 8-1 Chicago. The pitch by Edgar Gonzalez, and Kotsay takes outside 3-0. Oh. Robert Juan, little nugget there for you, Ray.
That's unbelievable. Robert, that's good.
And the pitch taken for a strike. It was in the direction, as Robert Juan points out and reminds us, the direction of the number 9, the retired number 9 up on the tarp atop Mount Davis in left field. The 3-1 to Kotsay, off speed, taken low. Mark works a walk, and that'll bring up Alex Rios. So Jim Thome, a milestone. 563 all time.
51, Alex Rios.
Thing that Thome has done too, among a lot of things, it's not that easy to do, especially for a power hitter. He's overcome some pretty serious back problems. As hard as he swings, outside for a ball to Rios to count 1-0. 8-1 in favor of Chicago. Alex Rios, 1 for 4. The pitch by Edgar, and a check swing. Did he go? They appeal to first, and yes, says Bill Hahn. Give you a check of the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the Contra Costa Times. The Bay Area's best. The Cubs defeated the Pirates 3-1 behind Gorzalani. Harry would have had fun with that name on the north side. Gorzalani over Duke. Kevin Gregg save number 23. Rio swings and fouls it back out of play. Let's check the NL Central. When play began today, the Cubs were 4.5 back of the Cardinals. So the Cubs won, and for the moment, they're 4 back. The Cardinals hosting the Padres tonight with Joel Pinheiro is 10-9. Rios takes a breaking ball outside. San Francisco leads the Mets 4-2 in the 8th inning in New York. Matt Cain for the Giants. Pablo Sandoval is at number 18. Johan Santana was lifted in the 7th inning. In there on the outside corner, ring him up. Strike 3 called. Rios strikes out. 1 out. Kotsay at first. 8-1 White Sox in the 9th. Atlanta and the Phillies. It's 3-2 Phillies in the 7th. Cole Hamels started for the Phillies. Kenshin Kawakami for Atlanta. Jason Worth, number 24 for the Phillies. Brian McCann, number 13 for Atlanta. Here's Przinsky, and the pitch to AJ is taken inside 1-0. I assume that Pedro would start again on Monday or Tuesday for the Phillies. That would mark his second start for them.
They scored 12 runs again and got a chance to win.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The 1-0 pitch to AJ. Swung on line to center, a base hit on a changeup. Kotsay to second. First and second, 8-1. Carlos Quentin coming up. Well, the White Sox are taking a flyer on Freddie Garcia, as we said earlier. Pitching at a premium, and especially, I think, some of the contenders wanting the veteran experience. Garcia, a big part of the White Sox World Series team in 05. His last really good year was when he won 17 games in 06. And after he was dealt to the Phillies, when Gavin Floyd and Gio Gonzalez came to the White Sox, Gio coming back to the White Sox, since then, he's made only 14 starts in the big leagues. Outside for a ball to Carlos Quentin, 1-0. And actually, Garcia was property of the Mets earlier this year, and the Mets released him in April. He was pitching in AAA in the Mets system. Now the pitch to Quentin, foul back out of play, and the count 1-1. So when the White Sox take on Kansas City in a 3-game series, it'll be Mark Burley against Brian Bannister on Monday, Freddie Garcia against Gil Mesh on Tuesday, and Zach Greinke and Jose Contreras on Wednesday. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Edgar Gonzalez throws, and Quentin takes on his 2-1. Lillibridge is on deck. One thing about Freddie Garcia, he's always had a good changeup.
Yep, anytime. Throw it anytime.
Will he have enough velocity to get the separation between the fastball and the changeup? Here's the 2-1 by Gonzalez, a foul ball straight back off the bat of Carlos Quentin, and the count 2-2.
One of the great deadline deals involving Freddie Garcia when he left the Astros with Carlos Guillen going over the Mariners for Randy Johnson. Randy went 10-1 down the stretch in '98. A lot of people thought the Astros were the favorite to win. Padres prevailed, though.
And lost to the Yanks in the World Series. The 2-2 with 2 runners on base, off speed, and a foul tip held onto by Suzuki. Strike 3. Quentin is down on strikes, and Lillibridge will be coming up. Dodgers at Arizona tonight. Kuroda against Davis. Nationals at Cincinnati. Martin against Cueto. The Astros at Milwaukee. Moeller against Burns. They're in a rain delay in Florida. What else is new? They have yet to begun the scheduled 3:10 Pacific time start. The Marlins and the Colorado Rockies. 8-1 here. White Sox in the 9th. And Edgar Gonzalez deals it low to Lillibridge, and the count 1-0.
They won't have that problem in a few years.
Yeah, they'll have a dome, huh?
Retractable roof.
Hitting room in left center. Edgar Gonzalez, the set. Suzuki sets up away, and the pitch. Off-speed breaking ball, a strike. They've gone to the 6th inning, and Cleveland leads Minnesota 7-1. Angels at Baltimore. KC at Detroit. Toronto at Tampa Bay. Red Sox at Texas, Yankees at Seattle. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, sprayed foul out of play to the right by Lillibridge. And the count 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, a right-handed hitter. Kotze at second, Brzezinski at first. Suzuki sets up outside. The 1-2 pitch is high, and it's 2-2. On the farm last night, the A's AAA Sacramento Ball Club lost to Memphis 7-4. But the young second baseman acquired last year by the A's from the Phillies in the Joe Blanton deal, Adrian Cardenas, went 3 for 4 for the River Cats. 2-2 to Lillibridge. The kick gets on the way. That's taken inside, 3-2. And the Chris Carter Express just rolls on at Double-A Midland. The big first baseman had the game-winning double in the 9th inning for Midland as they defeated Northwest Arkansas 7-6 last night. And Chris Carter has hit in 27 of his last 28 games, batting .444 during that time. 3-2 to Lillibridge is a weak ground ball spinning to the second baseman Ellis, and he throws him out. White Sox get a run on the home run by Jim Thome. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 8-1 Chicago.
These days.
This lefty, Randy Williams, he's been around a long time, although he hasn't pitched that much in the big leagues. In fact, he missed 2 entire seasons, 2000 and 2001, because of Tommy John surgery. He's 33, lives in Houston, Texas, originally a 12th round pick of the Cubs in '97. He first got to the big leagues with Seattle in '04, and then spent a little bit of time in the big leagues in '05 with the Padres and Rockies. And Bobby Crosby pinch hitting for Jack Cuss takes the ball, and it's 1-0. So Crosby pinch hitting, 8-11-0 for Chicago, 1-9-1 for the A's. And Williams throws, and Bobby swings and fouls it back to the right. And the count 1 ball, 1 strike. So Williams back in the big leagues this year, having not pitched in this show since 2005. 33 games last year at AAA Albuquerque, 0-2, a 4.33 ERA. He delivers, and Crosby fouls it back, and it's 1-2 to Bobby. He went to Lamar University in Beaumont, Texas.
Same school as Kevin Millar.
He's also an independent league graduate, outside for a ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Just like Kevin Millar.
Just like Kevin Millar, who was signed by the legendary Gary Hughes for the Florida Marlins. And the pitch, here it is, and Crosby, a ground ball fouled on the third base line. Well, the A's will try to salvage 1 game of the series tomorrow. At 1:05, Trevor Cahill for the A's against John Danks. The New York Yankees on Monday night. The only visit to the Coliseum this year. At 7:05, Vin Mazzaro and A.J. Burnett. 2-2 pitch by Williams. Crosby fouls it back and the count holds. So Bobby batting for Jack Cust. Ellis is on deck, and then Pennington. His only run coming on Ellis's double that played at Sweeney, and that was in the fourth. White Sox got 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth, and 1 in the ninth. And they lead 8-1. And Williams to the plate, taken inside. Now the count is 3-2. So the Sox will be posting a score for the Tigers to see as the Tigers play KC tonight. Outfield is straight away, the delivery, and Crosby swings and misses, and down he goes. So 1 away, and Ellis is coming up. The Red Sox lead the wild card by 1.5 over Texas, and they're playing again tonight. And Tampa Bay is 5 back in the wild card. 17,742 tonight, 17,742 this afternoon. Gavin Floyd went 7 for the White Sox. Gio Gonzalez 5 innings plus for the A's. Now the pitch, and Ellis, a ground ball up the middle, and a dive by Lillibridge. He can't get it. A base hit to center field. Shortstop diving to his left, couldn't flag it down. And Ellis has been red hot, as Vince said, leading the American League in RBIs during August with 17, and 2 for 4 today. Is hitting right around 400 for his last 18 games.
And he talked about the 60-day disabled list, basically missing a third of the season, but he has come back much stronger. And you could just see the way he is patient at the plate, and it's great to see him having a great month of August and continue through September.
Cliff Pennington is 0 for 3, a switch hitter batting right, and Williams delivers, and it's low, and it's 1-0. They're not holding the runner as the A's are down by 7 here in the ninth. The pitch, here it is by Williams. It's outside, and it's 2-0.
Probably allows Mark Kotze to send a barb or two Ellis's way. And Mark can't really retaliate with his back to him.
The 2-0 pitch, here it is, and it's swung on and popped up back of the plate. Przinski slings the mask away toward the on-deck circle, and he makes the catch. Out number 2, Kennedy coming up. So this lefty Randy Williams had his contract purchased from AAA Charlotte on July 29th. He made his Sox debut that night. And Kennedy coming up. Kennedy has 4 hits. He's singled 3 times and doubled. He had a 5-hit game back in late July at Fenway Park. Ellis had a 5-hit game on the A's last road trip. 8 runs, 11 hits, no errors, White Sox. A run, 10 hits, an error for the A's. 2 out, runner on, bottom of the ninth. Williams kicks, Ellis runs. It's swung on and fouled back by Kennedy. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Yeah, the Chris Carter Express in Double-A with the game-winning double last night. 27 of his last 28 games he's hit safely in, and during that time he's batting .444. He leads the Texas League in runs scored, home runs, hits, doubles, total bases, walks, batting, on-base percentage, slugging, and OPS. The runner goes, a drive into left, and a 5-hit game for Kennedy, and Ellis goes to third. For the second time this year, Adam Kennedy has a 5-hit game for the A's. It ties an Oakland record, 5 hits in a game. So he's done it twice this year. Ellis has done it once.
And every hit has gone in the same direction, all to left field, left center. Not one has been pulled towards center or right field. So just a great job of hitting all day by Adam Kennedy.
The pitch to Rajay is taking a good note from Mike Selleck, informing us that Kennedy and Sal Bando are the only players in Oakland A's history to have 2 5-hit games in the same season. Adrian Gonzalez of the Padres had 6 hits in a game earlier this week. Rajay takes a strike in the outside corner. They concede, Kennedy going to second on indifference. So second and third, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, 9th inning, 8-1 in favor of Chicago. Williams sets, turns, kicks, and throws to Rajay. Swung on, foul, back, out of play. Rajay batting at .296. Ellis over third, Kennedy at second. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. The set, the turn, Williams throws right down the middle, ring him up, strike three called, and this ball game is over. The White Sox beat the A's 8-1. Back with the totals after this.